everybody, and welcome to a new episode of the MinnMax Show, place about games, friends, and getting better. I'm Ben Hansen, joined by Leo, the Mover Vader.
We're live. It's crazy. Anything could happen.
Yeah, live episode, special one, everybody. So it's going to be messy. We're joined by Haley McLean.
Howdy hoody.
Queen of the Mess, and we're joined for the final time. I'm sure he'll be on at some point in the future, but realistically, the final time as a guest cohort, Kyle Bosman.
The royal jester of the mess.
That's right. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Does it feel like the month flew by for you? How are you feeling, Bosman?
Yeah, it's been a wild July. I've been having a lot of fun. This is my last recording for MinnMax of the my tenure.
Yeah, we got one more travelogue coming up next week, which is a bit of a surprise with Kyle Bosman in it. But effectively, your reign ends now, buddy. We have a lot of good stuff on this here episode of the podcast. Yes, everybody's screaming. Yes, the Rumor Meister will return for their final appearance on this
So
episode.
play it now. Let's hear
I
it.
can't actually play it now. We're going to have to wait because they said this one needs to be climactic, and they actually specifically requested that we hold it until the end of the episode. I hope that's okay.
Wow.
I bet he has like a timer thing, like a website countdown kind of thing. 'Cause he's cool like that.
Yeah. They just seem pretty cool. There's no
Yeah.
doubt about it. On this episode of the podcast, though, we, of course, are talking about the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase, running through highlights there from, hey, new Nintendo Direct, exciting times. We'll tell you if they are. We're also going to check in with Kyle Bosman on Donkey Kong Bananza, get his final thoughts and all that stuff. Then we're going to talk about Battlefield 6. I got to play Battlefield 6 just yesterday. I was out in LA, so we're going to unpack that with the big reveal. We're talking
got a nice
about
glow. Got some sun.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
The Drifter, which is a point-and-click adventure game that's pixel art, and Haley was like, oh, I've been playing The Drifter, and like a fool, Haley, I just pulled it up like an hour ago, and I was like, oh, I'm an idiot.
Overwhelmingly positive.
I know, it's like, I should have been playing this last week. This looks so good, so I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that, Haley. And then Wildgate, we're going to be talking about that with Leo and I, and then back half of the show, of course, we have some great questions that people submitted over there on Patreon that we're going to dive into in a huge way. But here's the thing. If you have enjoyed MinnMax's content lately, everybody, we've been cranking out a lot. Kyle Bosman has been a shot in the arm, a lot of fun energy thanks to him. If you've enjoyed any of our content over the last month, over the last, I'd say maybe 5.5 years, but maybe the last couple of weeks in particular, you enjoy the guest cohort format, all that fun stuff, you can directly support MinnMax on Patreon. And for this week only, until August 4th, we will DM you a Steam code for Lumines Remastered. Lumines Remastered, speaking of overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, if you're a fan of the old PSP game or you just want to train up before Lumines Arise launches later this year from Enhanced Games, this is a great opportunity for you to jump in and play Lumines Remastered, the beloved puzzle game. Again, we choose games that we like for these giveaways, and so if you support us at any tier on Patreon, or if you upgrade your tier, you got the $2 tier, you want to try the $5 tier, we'll also DM you a Steam code for Lumines Remastered here. So jump in, jump up. We will send you that Steam code via Patreon. And I hate to do this. We hope you do this. We hope you jump in and take advantage of this. We'd love to have $2 of support from you, and we can send you this great Steam game. And we have 200 Steam codes to give out. We will post on all social media if we run out, but right now you're looking real good. So jump on in and get a code for Lumines Arise if you want to help support
A lot of
everything
people
we're doing here.
think it would be like awkward to support us, or we wouldn't like it,
Right,
or we'd
right.
like feel bad. But if we truly, it would be great if you supported us financially.
I clocked that you phrased it that way. That's funny.
And also, like, on top of that, I wanted to make it very clear that you don't even have to like MinnMax to support them.
Totally.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You get like a $2 video game. Like, he'll send you the code even if you don't like MinnMax if you just become a patron.
Yeah, cancel
great
after
way
a
to
month.
phrase it,
Yeah,
too.
all good for me.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, everybody. Nintendo Direct, the big partner showcase. Bosman, where were you at for the roller coaster ride of rumors? Not from the Meister themselves. They know better, obviously. But a lot of people were like, I think Metroid Prime 4. I think it's going to be the big showing. And then at the last second, it was, hey, it's a partner showcase, everybody. Ta-da!
So I feel like there's a few like highly trusted leakers, not on the Rumor Meister's level, obviously, but like if you see like a Reddit thread on gaming leaks and rumors that's like Nate Drake says, you're like, oh, it's happening. So like I feel like I felt pretty certain there would be a Nintendo Direct. I'm kind of with you. Like logically, you would see Metroid Prime 4, logically you would see Kirby Air Riders. Like, when else would they show those?
Right.
But I wasn't disappointed when they said Partner Direct, because I feel like that is a whole element of what they have to prove with what the Switch 2 has going forward.
Right. It seemed like great timing for anything big to come in on the Switch 2. Like, we're all in love with Donkey Kong right now. Maybe people are starting to wrap up. And so the timing made sense for, like, yeah, if they want to start dropping release dates for Kirby Air Riders, for Metroid Prime, that makes sense. But also, Partner Showcase, like, if we get Hades 2 release date, that'd be awesome. Elden Ring release date, Final Fantasy 7 Intergrade, Silk Song.
Wow.
Expectations were high, and it didn't really have any of those biggies. It had some fun announcements in there, but I think by and large people were pretty burned by a certain level of hype for the concept of Nintendo Direct. But specifically, the thing that's wild is, like, people very eager for news on the Switch 2 and the future of the Switch 2 and all this stuff. But once we started getting them dropping stuff like, hey, Mario Paint, come into the Classics library and you can use the Switch 2 mouse. Here's like a 4-minute overview video showing it off. And it's like, that would have been a nice little beat in a Nintendo Direct. So once that gets out there, yeah, the Dragon Drive overview video, that was released separately. So it's like, okay, they're kind of like shooting some shots outside of the Direct. So now it seems like there is something afoot. And the answer was that it's a partner showcase, not the primary thing here.
Which it could be fine, like I was saying about filling out the like third-party expectations for the console, getting more release dates. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Even if they are re-releases. But what's weird about the Direct is how many of them were Switch 1 games.
Yeah.
They started with, here's the legend. This is the icon for Switch 1. This is the icon for Switch 2. And then it seemed like half of the games were Switch 1 only. I mean, obviously you can play them on Switch 2, but they're not pushing that at all.
Right. Especially to open that. Yeah. So it's like Once Upon a Katamari is a Switch 1 game that was looking a little rough, but it wasn't Switch 2. It wasn't running on Switch 2, right? And then also like Just Dance. Like, there's no Switch 2 native version of Just Dance. Maybe Just Dance is going to run well enough anywhere, so I guess it's not the biggest deal. But it was a little deflating.
Would you bother?
I guess that's the thing. Yeah. I mean, maybe you could charge an extra $10 for it or something if you really want to push it and get 70 for it.
I think if you ever bother, it's right now while the console is lacking games and people want anything on it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so. But the thing that kind of freaks me out about the state of the Switch is, we're getting up there for needing release dates for some of these holiday games, and specifically Metroid Prime 4 has me a little worried. I don't know if you saw this one, Bosman in particular, but like Kiwi Talks, do you know their YouTube channel?
No, they sound like New Zealanders, though.
They are, but they're very good. So it's primarily...
But despite that limitation, the content's been great.
Yeah.
Wow, you two got in on that.
We are live, folks. That's in there.
The classic flub. No, but they have a great interview series on YouTube, and primarily they do interviews with retro developers. And like a little Valve, little Bethesda, and stuff like that. But like, this person's done so many interviews with retro, and so they posted that, hey, there are development milestones that keep getting missed, which is why you don't have a release date yet for Metroid Prime 4. So the fact that somebody extremely plugged into the inner workings of retro is like, they're missing milestones. It's not ready to go yet. Like, at this point, it's like, are they just going to push it to 2026 if they haven't revealed when it's coming out yet?
Sure.
Probably.
You know what though? I'm unconcerned. I don't think Metroid Prime 4 is like the one game. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's part of a picture, and so I don't think it ruins the season or saves the season if it's there or not.
Okay. Did anything in the partner showcase ruin or save the season for you?
No.
Are you sure about that?
I'm looking over my list. Is like, do I feel any different today than I felt yesterday? I don't know.
Right.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, they opened it up with Monster Hunter Stories 3. I'm sorry, Twisted Reflection, of course.
Great.
Fantastic. But it looks visually cool. It's nice to see like a big upgrade for the Monster Hunter Stories series. Maybe this is going to be kind of like a big showing for it once it finally releases and stuff.
Right. But traditionally more goofy, more cartoonish. Bigger heads, bigger eyes.
Right.
And they're going for like a more Fire Emblem-y proportion style.
Yeah, I think visually it looks really good. So I'm curious to see if the gameplay can live up to it on the JRPG front and all that stuff. But
I was intrigued by the only Rathalos flyer. I was like, that gives young adult novel. Like, that sounds kind of rad. But then I don't know anything else about this lore. It's also the third entry, and I'm like, I can't catch up.
Yeah.
Oh well.
They're smart though to capitalize on How to Train Your Dragon tearing up the box office again and again and again and again. So yeah, a little bit of those vibes in there. Leo, what was the biggest pop for you for the entire showcase?
Chilling by the campfire? Is that what it's called?
Just chilling by the fire. Just chilling by the fire.
Fireside
Just
talk.
chilling by the fire.
This
Is that what it was called?
this is another thing that's a little alarming. It's like
Alarming.
it doesn't look amazing. Is it chilling by the fire and trying to find this damn thing?
I think it's
chillin'.
called Fireside Chill.
Chillin'.
Chillin', not chillin'.
Chillin'.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
IN apostrophe.
Kind of ironic because
Like
fire's
mini sheet?
hot.
Yeah, I get that. And so
It's a really in-depth like fire builder. Like they're placing the sticks and logs in a triangle formation to help them catch fire, and you're like looking at the degrees, you're blowing on them.
The simulation
just
seems
weak that
accurate. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just like sticks on a table, Leo.
it really is like, and also
You're
like
describing it in the nicest way that makes it sound awesome, but it's just putting sticks on a table.
I mean, definitely Reddit was being lit up, ironically. They're screaming about like, what is this shovelware that's getting front and center placement from Nintendo? Like, it doesn't look amazing. And I think it's just Nintendo being like, well, they're technically showing off some specific Switch 2 features because you can use the game chat camera function
Yeah.
to have like big bubbles of your friends' faces as you sit around the virtual campfire.
Amazing.
With on-screen conversation topics.
Well, who can't have a conversation about, quote, is there a place that makes a sound you love? That was
Let's have a conversation right now.
Let's all answer that question right now.
You know what? You know what? Back home, I used to like the sound of peepers, like the frogs being evolved. They would,
Yeah.
they would just make this really nice peeping sound.
Yeah,
I actually, you
yeah.
know what? If I'm being honest, I did like that sound a lot. That's
you-
a comforting sound.
Do you think that's why you like Digievolution and Digimon in general is because you grew up around a bunch of peepers and frogs and they're all about evolving?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like thinking of a tadpole becoming a frog in its own lifetime is actually
So rad.
raw digivolution in real life nature. Observably, it's pretty
That's really
cool.
good. Hang on, is this secretly the greatest question of all time? Should every first date open with, is there a place that makes a sound you love? Because now I'm thinking about it, I'm like,
Yes, because then you can say, "Let me take you there."
Oh.
but I remember we went on this vacation. I think it was in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and there was sand, and it was the wildest thing I'd ever seen because it was sand. But like, if you put your hand in the sand and pushed it, it was like, "Brrrr," and the sand like made like this weird, loud, like farting sound. I never had like loud sand before, and so that's the place that makes a sound that I love.
Such a great
Wow.
answer
Thanks,
That's a
man.
great answer.
to a great question.
Down on the south shore of Nova Scotia, there's a lot of loons, and they all go, ooh, loo, 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 loo. That's like the way they sound. I'm always like,
Yeah.
that sounds like nature and nice, and only in my general area of the world, I also think loons hang out the most. So,
No, I got bad news for you. Loons are everywhere in Minnesota. It's kind of like our main.
but they're on our
thing.
money and stuff.
Oh
They're ours.
yeah, it's kind of the main thing. All right, we won't take them.
Our loonies that you guys never believe is the name of those,
Sure.
but it's true.
For me,
Leo?
it's got to be the rushing waters of Minnehaha Falls, huh?
Wow,
ambience.
That is beautiful. That's beautiful.
You know
man.
what? And good on this panel for not doing one sarcastic answer.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We had one we're
true.
excited to share.
yeah.
maybe this game
I feel
is
like a lot of
good and-
podcasts would take it in a whole different direction. You know?
Yeah, we don't care for those types of podcasts. But
Okay.
chilling by the fire is out today, everybody. You can check
Another
it out.
another thing about why it got selected
Yeah.
is like, I think because it's the only one showing like a feature of the C button, right?
Yeah.
But the developer Oink Games is like formerly the people who made Chibi Robo.
Oh,
Oh.
what?
So like it's a little bit of like Nintendo Friends.
Interesting.
You remember? I think the game is like Takeshi and Hiroshi, the game about making a video game for your little brother. Also the
Ooh.
same studio.
Wow. Okay. Good research, man. I missed that completely.
My
God.
live chat did the research and just told me these things. But yeah, because I
Credit
was
your
also
team.
wondering like, why is this here? Why is this in the middle of like all these huge publisher partners, right?
Right. I
We
think
gotta make that a new show plus, by the way, right?
it seems about right. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
look for it in the poll next week. I have been screaming for years, and Nintendo and EA finally made it happen, where they're finally doing a remake of the first Plants vs Zombies, and releasing it on Switch here, October 23rd. I feel like it's been years of that's my prediction. We do the big prediction podcast at the start of the year. It's like, hey, you know what would print money?
You do bring that up a lot.
Plants
yeah.
vs. Zombies on the Switch. Like, just
Oh,
give
so
us
you
the
weren't
first
being
one.
sarcastic this whole time?
No, totally sincere. I really feel like everybody and their mama and their dada will buy Plants vs. Zombies on the Switch. If this thing releases for like $15, like absolutely everybody
Way
will
too
buy
much.
this.
Way too much.
I think they could get away with $15. I'd buy it for
Is it already
15.
on iPads and stuff? Because kids will just play it on an iPad.
Yeah, but it looks a little rough. And honestly, it's a good question. It's like, is the first one still playable in a big way? I'm not even really
Probably,
sure.
right?
Yeah, but it
It's not
got
been that long.
yeah.
How old am I?
It could be the kind of thing where like EA tries to sunset the old ones to get you more into the one where they added microtransactions to, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
But this is a
Always
remake of
assume
the first
evil
one, right?
intention.
it is just remake
Yeah.
of the first one. So hopefully,
I think
it's not
that's
gonna be-
gonna help them. I think that would do better than a new one. I think
Yeah.
a lot of people will be excited to pick that up.
Yep, no gross free-to-play tendrils in there. Like, thank God. Like, I remember we did the big oral history of PopCap games on MinnMax's YouTube channel. Also, the bonus podcast feed if you want to check that out. It's like 4 hours long. It's very thorough, but very
Whoa.
fun. But in that, they talked about how they're like, I think that EA hasn't done it. Because I asked them, like, where the remake is of the first game, why it's never been made. And the founders of PopCap, they're like, yeah, I think the code base was just a mess and no one knows how to program in C++ anymore. And so that's what it is. Everyone just kind of transitioned. And so no one wants to dive back into that mess of a code. But presumably, somehow, they did it. And I think it's looking good. And they added co-op and stuff. Like,
I love Plants vs. Zombies. I feel like I know 5 people who could program it from the ground up in a week.
That's so rude.
Yeah, they did that later, right? Haley, you got something that popped for you?
The Katamari game did pop for me.
Yeah?
I love Katamari. You're right, it did look a little rough. Would rather that if that was like a little shiny little Switch 2 thing, I think I'd be a little bit more excited. If it seemed like it was more look how much we care and we're making this for Switch 2, baby. But I don't know.
Yeah, so it's Switch 1 game, yeah, and it's called Once Upon a Katamari, which is a good
Great
name for
name.
a game
Good
where you're
name.
traveling through time. I think it's a good hook. And it's wild because
Yeah.
like that Apple Arcade Katamari just came out within the last year too. So it's Katamari's still going strong apparently, even though the creator, is releasing to a T. It is no longer there, for the original direction and stuff. But yeah, that's fun to see. That'll be
That
a
gameplay
delight.
is just a no-brainer. Like you could just give me that gameplay and new maps for 10 more decades, and I'd say, all right,
Perfect. Yeah.
good, sounds good.
Bosman, why are you biting your tongue and refusing to talk about our Lord and Savior, The Adventures of Elliot: The Millennium Tales?
favorite
Here's
game.
the thing is like I want to be nice and positive here on this nice and positive podcast where we
Uh-huh.
don't give sarcastic answers to places where we like the sounds.
Right.
And I think The Adventures of Elliot looks like a major misstep from the ground up. From the very first ideas this game developer was writing down, like the initial pitch, I would have said, no, please rethink this. It's an HD 2D Square Enix game that's
Right.
looks a lot like Octopath Traveler, and it's action adventure, right?
Yep.
You press buttons to make a sword slash. Like that's conceptually a good idea, and then everything from that point forward is like wrong, is what I would say.
Okay, so this was like they ended the show with 2 HD 2D games from Square Enix, which I understand is confusing to be like you put 2 really similar looking games
It
right
must
at
be
the end
easy to
there.
make these or something.
Well, so there's an interesting.
I know
twist.
5 people who could make a game like this. in 1 year.
So the little detail that is confusing, because some people were like, why does Octopath Traveler 0, which they also announced, why does that look so rough? Why does it look worse than the other games? Turns out Octopath Traveler 0 is a kind of expanded version of the mobile game that they made for Octopath Traveler, which is called Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent. So they described it as it's a full-fledged console and PC RPG, but it takes the acclaimed story from the mobile release, but reworks it to add new story content and streamlines the overall story for a more compelling experience. And they added like town building and stuff like that, but it does feel like, in terms of them being easy to make, it is still them adapting the basic core of that mobile game. So Octopath Traveler 0 is a little like, okay.
But it is coming out this year,
Yeah,
which
December
also
4th.
makes sense, right? Like it's just months away, so sure, it makes sense that one's partial effort, half effort.
Right, but Elliot, you want something more, because I gotta say, I kind of like the way it looks. I kind of like the way it plays, because they released a gosh darn demo, man.
Tell me you
play
want to be Elliot.
Oh no! I want Elliot to rot in hell forever. To be clear, I think this is what killed you. They literally did the thing that you always joke about on delayed input of saying,
This?
"Well, yes, this is Philabildia." Just the worst possible name for a kingdom or a continent that they're launching into. So out of the gate, you're sour, and I think those sour notes are poisoning the rest of your little mind.
That could very well be, yeah.
Like, because what is your?
Wrote
What
down
is?
some quotes from that trailer, by the way, because I couldn't believe how poor the script was for this.
Okay, lay him on us. Lay him on us.
7 weapon types in total.
Oh,
It's good.
I don't want to hear that when I'm looking at a cute
okay.
art. I don't want to.
She's
Oh,
right.
what
You
are
don't
they?
care. What are
I
you gonna
don't
do with that
care.
number? Yeah.
The little fairy showed up and it goes, "You can meet a fairy named Faye," and then she immediately says, "My name's Faye. I'm a fairy."
I like that.
What are we doing? Like, just let her say that. Why do we have a woman's voice over top doing that?
Okay.
And then I can't. What was the other one? I don't have another one. It's just those two, I guess.
Those are great.
So the fairy is divisive. So they released the demo for this thing, which, it's still undated other than just 2026. So this seems like a pretty early demo. It's kind of nice for publishers to put a game out there as an early demo, which is kind of like a little taste of early access. Like, let's get some feedback. We can still genuinely make huge changes to this game, presumably, with stuff. But I really wasn't expecting, jumping into the demo, like, oh, it is full action RPG. It is just Square Enix's HD 2D Zelda, and down to even some of the limitations of old Zelda games where it's like Link's Awakening's inventory, where you have like 2 equipment slots and then you're swapping out a lot in there, which charming and retro, but still it's like, even out of the gate, I was like, all right, swap between bombs and arrows is still going into the menu and messing with all this stuff. So I'm hoping they, streamline that a little bit. But on the fairy front, this is another big surprise jumping into it, is like, it's got a very nice thing where you can summon the fairy. Well, you don't even summon it. She's there all the
Her
time.
name's Faye.
Faye,
by the way.
she's a fairy. But she can give you a boost. So you just hit, like, I think it's, ZR or some nonsense, and you just go, and you go like 3 times as fast, and it's like you're suddenly roller skating around thanks to this fairy boost, which is awesome to have in a game like that. But in a Bosmanian twist, you got super speed, but if you hit a wall while doing it, and you're probably going to because it's fast and loose, whenever you hit something, the fairy says, "Oh, that's gotta hurt."
Oh, no.
And she says it over and over and over again.
It's a monkey's paw
It's,
situation.
they give you everything you want, and then it just
Yeah.
comes back to bite you in the ass.
Oh no.
Do you control her with the right analog stick? I was confused when they said you can control yourself and the fairy at the same time.
Yeah, so it's like 2-player co-op. Somebody else can control her, but yeah, you control her. It's like she'll help you get across gaps and stuff. Like, okay, go over to that side, then I'll warp over to you and stuff. Little Bayonetta Origins-esque for controlling another character in there, but not to that extent. But it seems really simple. The combat is like dirt simple. Yeah, they have like a parry in there, I guess, but it's also presumably the beginning of the game with very little equipment and stuff. But it seems like a cool little thing, and I will not have your slander for our dear friend Elliot on this podcast, Kyle Bosman.
I didn't want to bring it. You provoked it.
brought
You
it
drew
up.
the slander out of me.
I'm sorry. But yeah, it's a confusing thing too, because they say it's developed by Team Asano, right? So it's the team behind Bravely Default, Octopath Traveler, and Triangle Strategy. But I need help in the comments to piece all this stuff together, right? Because I'm still confused about which team is doing what, because all of those games are listed as having different developers, but they're all produced by the developer named Asano.
Whoa.
His last name is Asano. So is Team Asano just any game that's produced by Asano? I'm confused.
know.
Let us know in the live comments.
Let us know in the live comments, everybody. But that was probably the biggest thrill, is to have a new Square Enix game like this and this. Am I missing?
I thought you had my back on this. I thought you had my back on my pop.
No, sorry, man. What's it gonna be?
Pac-Man World 2.
Oh,
repack.
yeah. Big day for
I
freaks
thought you'd
out
be there for me on this one.
So, okay, we reviewed Bandai Namco for
Yeah.
the publisher report card, and
Okay.
the one thing they were missing was Pac-Man World 2 coming out.
Like, I truly thought it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Pac-Man World 2 is the 3D platformer version of Pac-Man. World 1 is like kind of basic, and then World 2 they kind of go full out 3D platformer on it. And like I thought, World 1 repack did okay.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's been like 6 years since that came out. It's been a long time. A
Yeah.
whole child's life, and then Pac-Man World 2 repack just surfaces suddenly in this Nintendo Direct. I was super happy about that.
Yeah, it's
I
kind of
used to love those games as a kid.
Really?
I loved the first one in particular. Like, I heard the music and realized I'd played these, and then went and was watching the trailers and was like, of like the original games. I was like, oh my god, it was like unlocking a memory in the back of my head that I adored these. I hadn't thought about it in decades.
Oh, that's so satisfying. So the world will rejoice with the release of Pac-Man World Repack 2. But yeah, it is weird to have those remasters spaced out. It feels a little bit like Capcom with Onimusha 1 and 2 remaster. It's like, why like the huge gap between these? It's just odd.
Yeah.
But they don't want to crowd the market. They got to give room for Shadow Labyrinth. That gets its day in the sun. Or as it prefers, the dark, twisted shadows. Anyways, Chronos: The New Dawn's coming out. Yakuza Kiwami 2. Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment. They had a new trailer for that, which is funky to see.
How dare you?
Yeah.
The narrator clearly enunciated Yakuza Kiwami every single time. I feel like almost to try to dissuade anyone from saying Yakuza ever again.
You're right.
And
you're
then
right.
you let that Yakuza slip right out. He couldn't make it clear. He was like, Yakuza Kiwami. He was like hitting every beat really hard. It's like, why is he doing this?
Yeah, it's
I think it's like they really want to emphasize the proper pronunciation in a weird way.
Yeah,
I used to say Yakuza until I said it to Blake Hester in person, and he had a perfect little snide comment about how that wasn't how you pronounce it, and it shamed me into pronouncing it better for the rest of my life. So we should have him on the podcast.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. More shame. So it was a weird feeling, and Jacob Geller talked about this a little bit in our reaction stream. You can check out Leo and Jacob and I react to the full thing if you want, but it's just an odd spot for the Switch 2 of like new hardware, getting in the groove, feeling good, feels good to play, love a Donkey Kong, and then to have the partner showcase pop up and just seeing games like Star Wars Outlaws or even the Dragon Ball fighting game, just seeing that looking a little rough. And it's a bummer. Like the first third-party showcase you have for like, the PS5, Xbox, you're not wincing. And I feel like we were praying to be free from that feeling of every port on the Nintendo Switch looking a little bit switchy, as Michael Huber from Easy Allies would say. And I feel like the first big third-party showcase for Switch 2, things are looking switchy again, even for Switch 2, supposedly versions. And it scares me, man.
I have a hot take that I couldn't put in the time capsule because I wasn't on that episode. But I think this is all prep for their next console, which will use actual console parts like this gen, and it will have like a 4K Nintendo console.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they'll finally do it and be like, hey, look, we actually made a console that runs games very, very well all the time.
So you're saying they're going to even lose the portability? You're saying the next Nintendo
they're
console...
Go back to just like a home console, no portability, but it runs amazingly good, and then we'll have like 4K Mario games.
Why would Nintendo
that take
want
is
to do
already rotten, Haley. There's no way.
That's probably the worst take I've ever heard in my life.
And they're right now gaslighting us into the bare min.
You're saying... All right, look, we can unpack that for an hour, but I don't think we can. It's truly the worst idea I've ever heard.
Chad is saying I'm wrong.
I wish we had takes that hot on that episode.
Yeah, that's
that is
our rancid take. Yeah, that's
Good
rough.
Lord.
Just wait.
Okay, all right.
Also, a little fun anomaly. It seems bizarre, but Madden NFL 26 coming to Switch 2 here. It's the first Madden game on Nintendo console since Madden 2013 on the Wii U. Like it has been that big of a gap. We're talking 13
I'm
Madden
interested
years.
to why you're into lengths of time, Matt. Madden's not been on something. I wouldn't clock you as someone who's like, wow, where's Madden been?
I don't want to play it, but I'm fascinated by that idea of the Switch being the second best-selling console of all time, and somewhere in that chain between EA and Nintendo, they couldn't get any version of Madden onto Switch. It's confusing.
One of the most popular franchises, yeah.
I know.
They were just worried that they're too worried about it running poorly, and they don't want any kind of bad eyes on it before the Nintendo releases their 4K console.
Oh, right. Yeah.
36.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Check your
decent theory.
Mark it on your calendar, everybody. Hey, Bosman.
But yeah.
Oh, please.
To remark on that though, I think like that is the real point of this direct, right? Is like Madden's here, FIFA is here. And so like while it doesn't excite this panel at all, I think it does kind of emphasize the strength of third party on the Switch too, at least a little bit. I think you're totally right that they look switchy, a lot of them. But yeah, I think that was the goal and point of this thing is like these games are coming out this year. There's not a single month coming up that's not going to have a big release on it.
Yeah.
So like it was like stinky. It was kind of like a stinky direct, but they accomplished their mission is what I would say about it.
They got the news about NBA Bounce out there, and so everyone was happy seeing those little weird mascots jumping around on the court or whatever the hell.
I feel like that's not fair to listeners or anybody who didn't watch the direct because that sounds so cool. An NBA Jam game where you're only playing mascots sounds really cool.
Sounds awesome on paper.
Yeah, but imagine like a WiiWare version of that.
Yep.
Wow.
That's exactly right. So even better.
That's so real.
Yeah. Bosman, I want to hear your final takes on Bananza. You rolled credits on this thing?
Rolled credits last night, aka this morning. Final thoughts is like truly like it's like this is like the best of what Nintendo does, I guess.
Yeah.
Wait, have you finished it? Are you there?
No, I'm pretty close. It feels like a climactic situation is happening.
It's about to occur.
Yes,
Got you.
yes.
Yeah. And I mean, like that's the most you could hope for, right? So like what I think is unique about Bananza that will stand as you look at it from years in the future and look at compared to other games that come after. It's an adventure game. It's like legit an adventure platformer, right? The game's about the quest. And so I feel like that truly matters. I feel like each stage along the quest, like a new gameplay mechanic is introduced, which is so difficult to do in a game that's all about, physics and, strange geometry. And so the idea of like them still coming up with new concepts that late into the game is like startling. You didn't expect a new thing to pop up this late. And then it's just like, wow, where's this? Like, but yeah, truly it's like, a game I don't think anyone else could make is what I'm like fully appreciating at the end of it.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. I know you're debating on Nusho Plus how it's going to age. I do think it is going to be a gem that people are going to look back on for years and years and be like, we need more games like this. Just experimental, pushing the format. And I think last time we talked about it too. I'm enjoying it, believe it or not, more and more as I play it. I still am waiting for, it's the classic thing of maybe it getting overhyped about like the ending of the game is ridiculous. The last 3 worlds are going to blow your mind, that type of thing of like, I think it keeps pumping out great ideas as you roll through it, Yeah. Which is fun to see. But yeah, just having like the discussion last week, I think it's almost a testament to the game, at least from my point of view, for the first couple hours of the game, just kind of, you took a big bite of a food and you were chewing it being like, I don't know what this flavor is yet, and I think that's a sign that the game is doing something new for the 3D platforming genre, that it's just trying to understand the structure, trying to understand the sense of level design, how things are constructed, what you can and can't destroy, how you design spaces when everything's destructible. I think it's an accomplishment for the game that it was still like, I'm still trying to process this. And hopefully by the time I finish it, I'll have a better sense of kind of the scale of the achievement here.
You know what? I've had that sensation before with Elden Ring. Elden Ring day 1, I was miserable. I didn't get it. I didn't understand like what they were going for with it at all, right? Day 2 of Elden Ring, I was in love really quickly. And I do feel like that's such a fun, you're chewing on it and you don't know what the taste is like such a funny analogy. I totally get that.
Yeah. Also, I had like the best case scenario for this game too, where Ross, Star Wars Guy Fun, friend of the show, I went over to his house and had some wonderful pizza, and his kid is like gaga about this game. And it was just
what made the pizza so wonderful?
It was wood fired, and then he's taking requests for different ingredients and toppings and stuff like that. And I had a Hail Mary, where I was like, "Hey, is it possible?"
Bananas.
No, could we get like a hot honey pepperoni pizza, which is becoming default best pizza in my mind. And they actually had some hot honey sauce to put on top of the pepperoni. It wood fired in their backyard, the best of all time.
Very
cool. But having like his kid be so into this game and just like in love with Donkey Kong. And he was like, I was a couple layers deeper than he was in the game, progress wise, right? And so he just kept asking, like, what's in your world? What do you mean? What do you mean there's elephants down there? What are they like? What is the ostrich hotel like? Like, seeing that excitement, be like, okay, this is the part that, like, Janet is missing on New Show Plus when she talks about, like, there's nothing memorable. It's like, I think we might just be old. I think if you're a kid and you come across an ostrich hotel, that's going to be, like, most iconic location in gaming, that ostrich hotel. The best there is.
YouTube 20 years from now, absolutely.
Yeah, totally. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing it off. I mean, how long do you think it took you, Bosman, to roll credits here?
Extremely long. I couldn't even estimate it because I was cleaning up. You know, not 100% every level, but everything I saw that it was within my range of sight, I would go pick it up.
Okay. Yeah, because I think the Nintendo tracker's a mess, but, like, it says I think over 15 hours at this point. So I'd imagine I'm probably coming up towards the end, but I'm not sure.
I also think Janet isn't giving cut up hot dogs and ketchup enough credit.
Yeah.
I think that's actually could be one of the top 10 foods, depending on your perspective.
No. Fill me in on this. As a guest, I need to know what you're even talking about.
He's saying that Donkey Kong Bananza, that I'm putting it through the lens of, if you're a stupid kid, you'll like anything. So therefore, it's actually a bad game.
Whoa.
Which is funny.
That was a really nice, like, A to C joke. I like that.
Thank you so much. I am totally enjoying Donkey Kong Bananza, and I'm like towards the end of the third transformation, which I think is like before people start saying it gets really good. People say it picks up in the back half, and nobody has complaints about the ending, so I'm excited to see where it goes. Because I think if the ending doesn't hit with the cast right now, I've been wondering if there's going to be a Final Fantasy Rebirth this year for the 210s, where it's like our cast happens to be more against it than everybody else, and it makes it becomes a beacon for comments. And I think this could be it. We'll see how it goes.
I dare you. I'd like some of those last levels. Like, I dare you to presume a child could accomplish what you're doing.
Right on.
Yeah.
Stupid child.
Or a toddler. Child's capable of a lot of things, but the toddler you're dangling keys in front of and feeding the chopped up hot dogs to could not do some of those levels. No way.
Yeah, Leo, do we look like stupid baby boys to you?
It's a long pause.
No.
And on top of that, here's the thing. It's not even just like how would a brain get there? Like, it's just like get to point A to point B. You solved it. It's like you can almost like express yourself in the way you get from A to B. It's so fun.
Yeah.
I like that. It's definitely
truly a beautiful game.
It started a lot more like effortless, constantly getting bananas everywhere from doing nothing. And already, after the first 30 minutes, you start getting actual challenges, both like you're dying and have to redo a combat challenge, or you're having to use your brain to figure something out. I definitely.
Yeah.
It has plenty of that.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of destruction, big dog's back, everybody. Battlefield 6. They said, Donkey Kong Bananza, you're getting too much attention. No. Let's put some guns in. Let's put swearing in. Let's put Limp Bizkit in our trailer. We're the star of this show this year. Battlefield 6. Big multiplayer reveal happened. Single player trailer happened. Was that just last week?
Yeah.
So.
Okay. God, yeah, recent thing.
It wasn't even called Battlefield 6 until last week officially.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there are definitely plenty of leaks swirling around there about, like, hey, an entire Battle Royale map has leaked and Reddit's all about it. And then today they did confirm that there's Battle Royale that's going to be in the game. So presumably that leak is real, and that Ripple Effect is the studio that's primarily working on the Battle Royale mode for Battlefield 6, because this is a huge project. So I went out to, EA flew me out to play the game I probably played it for a little over 3 hours with folks, and then saw the whole presentation and stuff, which is really, it's a funky system. I think it's smart on their part. But like yesterday, they had a bunch of press and a bunch of creators out there to play the game, and they just ran through the entire presentation, but it was like, hey, no phones, you can't record any of this. And then looking at like the live stream that they put publicly, it was the same presentation essentially. And so like the one with the press just gets to be the little rehearsal, which is like, it's a smart way to do it. It's very nice.
That's classy.
It's classy. But Leo is very, very surreal sitting in that warehouse. And then it's like, all right, the big reveal of Battlefield 6 is about to start. Lights go down, and out walks on the stage one Andy McNamara, our former boss.
Right.
Just having Andy walk out being like, yo, MFers excited about Battlefield, let's go! It's just the weirdest thing to see your former boss suddenly just being like, Battlefield is Lord! It's the best ever! It's like, oh my God, all right. He did a great job
on the live stream today, too.
Yeah, I did a little interview and stuff. Sorry, not little, a huge interview because it's Battlefield, but he did a great job. It was so fun to see. And also just like, it's not all about Game Informer, not all about our little perspective, but it was just very surreal because like the hotel that I stayed at the last time I was there in LA was on a Call of Duty cover story trip with one JV Gwaltney. And now it's like being at that hotel again with JV Gwaltney, and now he's running PR or working on PR for Battlefield 6 as well. It's just like, just a fun, like, times have really shifted. Just like times have shifted. We're out of 2042. We're going back to near future times, Kyle Bosman, with 2027 for the setting of Battlefield 6.
Ooh.
We got to play it, had a good time playing it. It's just a fascinating thing of seeing a company like EA, as, the CEO Patrick Wilson put it, quote, "We're all in as a company on this." Like just seeing a publisher being like, this is our biggest push possible. What does it look like when we need a game to hit so hard? How big of a preview event can we throw for this? Like we cannot make a single mistake. It is just, as a dork for the industry, it is really thrilling to see a publisher just being like, fire everything. Battlefield 6 needs to be a colossal hit.
Which I think one of the ways they're going for that is the pitch I got from the showcase today and some of the gameplay. They did like 3 hours of multiplayer gameplay with hundreds of creators, which is a good show of confidence that it works. It is good. They really want it to be like when you remember liking Battlefield in your life, this is that.
Yes. Yep.
Like whatever different era that is, whatever Battlefield was, it's kind of like going for that feeling of, man, I'm in high school again playing Battlefield with my friends.
Right. And
is that how it felt for you playing it? Did you have nostalgia for it?
I do. Well, I have a weird trajectory where like I love 1942. Like I played a lot of that original game with friends, and it was an important one for me. And then it wasn't until like Bad Company 2, and then strange enough Battlefield Heroes, I also played a lot with my friends. Do you remember that free-to-play version?
I'd forgotten that game exists.
It was cool. Also, in that same time frame, they also released Battlefield Play for Free, which was like the edgy, more adult classical Battlefield look, but also a free-to-play version of Battlefield. So I remember messing around with that a little bit too. So yeah, it's like 3 and 4 I dabbled with. I was not a huge fan of, and that is the interesting part here, because I feel like with Battlefield 5 and with 1 a little bit I suppose as well, they kind of hit that older crew of like, if you love the World War II battlefields, here you go. And now for this, the message is very much like Battlefield 3 fans, Battlefield 4 fans, this is for you. This is all of those wonderful nostalgic feelings coming back. And it's a funky thing to think about, just messaging-wise, which I'm a dork for, believe it or not, of just like the takeaway from the event. It's not like there were key bullet points of this is what we're doing that's wildly new. Like, yeah, the Battle Royale, when they fully reveal that, that'll be something. But I mean, 5 had Firestorm, which was, I think it was 5, right? That wasn't technically a Battle Royale. And so they've done that a little bit before, but it doesn't feel like there's like the big bullet points of like, this is why this is a whole new Battlefield experience. Like their messaging is very much, it's Battlefield and Battlefield rules. And so far the community seems to be like, yes, get it right this time. Don't blow it. And they have such a fine line to walk of just not pissing off that community after the release of 2042, where it was pre-order now, jump on in. And then the fans felt so burned by that entire experience. And so they're going all out, but like being in that room when they were rolling the multiplayer trailer and stuff, like the crowd was extremely into it. Like when they show they're bringing back Operation Firestorm, which is like a beloved map from Battlefield 3, kind of the refinery thing. Like that room exploded when that map.
Did you also applaud like you knew as well? You're like, oh, I know. Yeah, I know that too. I'm also excited.
Here's how stupid I am.
Glances around your shoulder.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I looked around because like the shots like jets coming in over the map and the crowd lost their minds. And I was like, were people just not sure if jets were going to be in this game? Like, freaking out about it. But then I was like, okay, got it. Totally. But then the other thing that was really fun to see is their portal mode, which they had for the last game as well, of just kind of like user creation, customized stuff. And that was like another one of the huge pops in the room, because they're bringing that back in a huge way, and they're adding even more tools. And like when you see like a mouse cursor on the screen, you can actually like move things around physically, and you can get really wild. And their example was they have just like a huge road basically vertical in a city and like tanks sliding off it. Then they also showed shots of like a jet flying through rings in this custom map, and they have just tanks like hovering in the air. Like it looks like the right level of silly that I was really excited about with Portal mode in 2042. And then I want to get like a community read. Does the community still, did they get a thrill out of Portal for 2042? I feel like 2042's launch was such a mess that I just want to poll. I want to check back in with the Battlefield community, be like, by the way, Portal was cool though, or it didn't work as well as you wanted. I didn't have a sense of where it ended up for folks.
They said up front this time that Portal will have full progression and rewards, which I don't think it did, at least at launch.
Okay.
With the previous Battlefield, which is good to say that up front. That is maybe silly to be so focused on, but it is realistically, is this a gimmick mode or is this a main part of the game that I'll keep coming back to?
Right. Yeah. It's, chat is, comparing it to Forge. There's a lot of Halo Forge comparisons. And so the big thing is that they have spatial editing now for Portal. And they were also emphasizing in an interesting way that like, hey, this is going to be front and center on the main menu. Like everything was kind of buried. All the user created stuff was kind of buried in browsers and stuff before, but like we want to surface this stuff a lot better. And it's going to be as front and center as it gets for Battlefield 6 is showing the Portal creations and what people are making, which is cool. That's fun to see the community just getting real with this stuff.
I got a controversial thought about this.
Please.
Here's my theory. That's Fortnite. I think that's Fortnite inspiration in that Fortnite created maps you can still earn experience points in. And so like if you're saying like progression is still allowed in Wacky World where the roads go straight up, I feel like that's like we need to be doing what Fortnite is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Overwatch as well, right? Haley, do you get full progression in that?
I don't know. I never played those modes, to be honest. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think they're taking a lot of those lessons. And like their pitch as well is they're like, we're not just making a whole new Battlefield. We're making a whole Battlefield universe, which is one of those confusing things. But like even just messaging wise, it's really fun seeing how they're framing it instead of like, the Call of Duty studios where it's like, okay, you got Beanox doing support, all these other Activision studios doing support, yada, 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 High Moon, all that stuff. Like they're actually branding this as, these are the Battlefield studios. So it's DICE, Motive, Criterion, and Ripple Effect. Those are 4, but together they are the Battlefield studios. It's like, okay, it's an interesting way to frame it. And they're not including Ridgeline, which was the studio up in Seattle that was formed to work on the campaign. That studio was shut down by EA, and they then moved that campaign off to, I think, was it Motive? I think that's working on the campaign primarily now for Battlefield 6. So interesting behind the scenes stuff. And the other big question or the new thing here that they're pushing is Vince Zampella. One of the masterminds of Call of Duty's popularity, right? Going back with Jason West to, Modern Warfare. And I mean, he worked on Medal of Honor before that. He's just had a wild career, but obviously there's the big lawsuit oh, sorry, please.
Then Titanfall, right?
That's exactly it. Yeah, there's a big lawsuit then when they left Activision before Modern Warfare 3, I believe. I think it was right when 2 was launching, I'm trying to remember. And then formed Respawn. And then Jason West left Respawn. He went to Epic. I don't know if he's still over there at Epic. But it's just seeing Vince Zampella's trajectory through the industry is fascinating because, like, we visited Respawn early on for the Titanfall Game Informer cover story trip when Respawn was still relatively small. It's probably like probably under 100 people. I'm trying to remember, for Titanfall's development there. And seeing them in that mode with so much like, hey, we want to stay small. Like Call of Duty got too big. We want to focus just on being a small studio and make quality experiences. And then Respawn became really the crown jewel, I feel like, in EA Studios. And then Vince he's now worked his way up to now overseeing the Battlefield series as well on top of other duties here. And so it's just wild to see him swinging from EA then to Call of Duty, now back to Battlefield. And he was promoted after 2042 had a super rough launch. And so this is kind of the first Battlefield that's under Vince Zampella's rule, if you will, who really revolutionized Call of Duty in a huge way. And that is another odd thing is like, it's not a revolution for Battlefield. It's just the messaging of what if it's Battlefield, but it's really, really good this time, and trust us, we won't blow it on launch. And all of that then comes down to
James Gunn.
Yes, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Right. But it's like it's fun to see, but it all comes down to like, hey, this thing's coming out October 10th. Can the teams pull it off? Do they have enough time? is this thing going to come in hot? Because if this thing comes in hot, good Lord. And, there was a nice report. God, do you remember who did the report? A behind-the-scenes story talking about the campaign has been reworked and it's struggling a bit. And so, of course, with any development. Yeah. But with any development, there's
they
a lot
do
going on
publicly
behind the
say
scenes.
that this has been like the largest tested Battlefield game ever. Were they bragging about that?
Yeah, the Battlefield Labs, they're really big on pushing and
Yeah.
stuff just for having that, community participation and trying to shape this thing as it moves forward and trying to split the difference for like, okay, closed weapons versus open weapons, or the weapons locked to the different classes. Like, okay, you can have that if you want in certain games. So they're trying to have it both ways, apparently, to try and make the community as happy as possible because they understand they cannot have another rough launch here. Leo, you ready to pop?
I'm popping to burst.
Yeah. Do you think you could get into this?
I could. I've had my moments with Battlefield for sure. I know it's got other modes besides Conquest, but that's the flagship one. Those are really long matches, and that's a
Yeah.
game I typically don't play with friends. It's like I drop in, finish half a match, play a half of another one, and then leave. Just kind of popping XP and doing simple shooter style stuff. It is interesting that, again, with the nostalgic angle, it is such a gritty Iraq war looking shooter. Like, that type of style has not been in vogue for so long in a mainstream shooter that it's weird to see them go back to it, and I don't think that's necessarily something that is exciting to me anymore. Just like as a place to be fighting versus something like, I guess I'll talk about the finals. Something like that's a little more, it's got all that destruction, but it's visually popping a little bit more.
Right.
And it's a little bit more of a smaller contained experience versus the long matches. Again, it's like I disengage from the idea that it's a long match that I'm supposed to care about. Get shooters where I have to care about a long match and I'm in it for 45 minutes. I just don't play those.
Yeah, it is funny that, like, we played a lot of Conquest, but the most fun that I had playing it was the squad deathmatch. Just like 4 teams of 4. And it's like, oh man, this feels like the least Battlefield experience here. But it was just like we had a fun squad rolling in there where it was I'm trying to remember for squad deathmatch. It was like Snowbike Mike from Kind of Funny, and then Huber was in there from Easy Allies, and then Nikki Grayson from VGBs. And so yeah, it was a really fun tight squad just to have that level of communication. And it turns out that's what you need for a fun Battlefield experience. Like if you're playing with your buddies and you're communicating and not being great at this game, it was such a breath of fresh air when Nikki was like, hey, let's just be silly. Let's just focus on being silly with tanks and only revive people, just being aggressive with, the defib. Like just having somebody else there who's like, hey, let's just be silly with this. Like, okay, thank God. I don't need to try and impress everybody with the KD ratio. Let's just go in and have a good time. And I always heard Huber Bosman talk about how good he was as a medic in Battlefield, that's like his main role. To have him on your team, my body would never even hit the ground. Like you get hit, and then
He's a healer, huh?
He'd be right there diving on your
Huber's
corpse.
a support character. That's so on brand for him.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
It's funny because in the stream today, which was hundreds of content creators, it was a running joke with the commentators how nobody was ever getting revived and they never would. Yeah. And when somebody almost got revived, it was a huge moment of excitement, and then they wouldn't go and revive them, and it would go back to normal.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's very cut off where they had the side for the press on one side of the warehouse, and this side of the warehouse they had the content creators, streamers, and they actually had like security there, so you couldn't even go see the streamers. Like it was like a walled off thing. But we'd be in matches, and it'd be like, oh, we're going up against like Nade Shot, like in Battlefield, and I don't want to brag, but I killed him a couple times, you guys.
You
No.
probably
didn't wanna brag.
were screen peeking and you leaned in against.
I
The
couldn't screen peek. They wouldn't even let me peek at the
There was a
human
wall
being.
of security between them.
Exactly, the opposite of screen peeking.
You looked at the reflection of the security guy's glasses.
Hanson, I am super curious about that actually. As
Yeah.
we're talking about like the media dorkery, the separation between content creators and media is really
like church
curious
and
to me.
state.
Yeah,
It's very important.
and like the idea that like there's a bunch of people still playing today, like they were doing that live stream there from the place, right?
Yeah, yep.
Like, why didn't you get to do that?
I could have, but I wanted to fly back into this podcast because I prioritize that. Where it's like, all right, I got to play for 3 hours. I'm good.
Oh.
We're like tonight. It was going to be the whole multiplayer event. You could play more, and then they had a big concert with some DJ or something going on tonight, and I was like, I think I'm okay. I had a good time, but I'm ready to go back and talk about it a little bit.
You'll never be on the streamer side if you act like that.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. I should really.
You gotta want that DJ. Main shot is hanging out with the DJ.
Yeah.
Right now.
No doubt. Leo, I wanted to ask you about the finals, because that's a lot of former DICE folks have been over there. They're making Arc Raiders as well, and Destruction in Battlefield's like always been awesome, always been amazing. Bad Company 2, in my mind, is still the high water mark, but I understand there's a lot of fans of 4 and stuff in there. But they had developers on stage, and the way they laid it out, I guess made sense, but it kind of took the magic out of it a little bit for me, where they're like, well, the destruction is deterministic in Battlefield 6, meaning like if you shoot a rocket launcher at the upper right of a house, it's always going to like collapse the same way and put like a ramp down, because we want things to be tactical. You need to be able to plan for like, okay, if this is destroyed this way, then the map is in this stage, which means I should strategize in this way. But that just, it's like, oh, I think I'm still just dreaming of a naive Battlefield where I could just go in with a rocket launcher and Donkey Kong Bananza the place, It's like, oh, no, it's not that. It looks like that and it feels like that in trailers, but you can still shoot a rocket launcher at a lot of walls and it just makes a little scuff mark at the end. But is that the way it works in the finals?
No, the finals, the building will go down differently every time, and the rubble will stay there, and it will be a new like place to be fighting in. Which it did look cool in Battlefield 6. That like now this building has this roof that caved in, and now it's this 45-degree slope that I'm fighting my way up. That looks cool, and I didn't even realize it was predetermined.
Okay,
but it's I don't know. It's interesting that they're going for that. I guess I certainly prefer the finals way of doing it, where it could go any way, and that means it could be really cool or really goofy. I like that. Freedom of possibility.
But can you shoot at any wall in the finals and take it down?
Yeah.
Okay. So it is 100% of buildings here. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, there's times where it's like, oh, there's a weekly to get a certain amount of destruction, and you'll get in certain games, and everybody's just focused on destroying the whole map.
Okay.
That's fun.
That's
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, the big question is what's going to happen? I mean, with EA putting all of its chips in on Battlefield 6, like, is there a chance that this is the year that it dethrones Call of Duty? Like, Black Ops 7
Dethrones?
There's a world where it could outsell
Leans
it
against the top podium post.
yeah. I mean, if Game Pass is siphoning off and we're at Black Ops 7, it doesn't feel like people love the butterfly in that reveal trailer. Other than that, I don't think there's a groundswell of energy for Black Ops 7.
That game hasn't revealed itself yet.
Yeah.
Like Call of Duty's just still sitting pretty with their arms crossed, waiting to show everybody what they got,
Do you think if EA plays all of its cards right, community's hot on Battlefield 6. By the way, they have public beta, open beta happening the next couple weekends, August 9th through 10th, and then 14th through 17th. Like, they want everybody to jump in and play as soon as possible and stuff. So if the community is red hot on it, do you think there's a chance it could outsell Call of Duty this year?
I'm gonna say no.
I think there's a chance.
Okay, you say no.
I think vibes are so important around a live service shooter, and when the last Battlefield came out, the vibes were rank and it never recovered. You just never had it. Even after they fixed it, you're like, why would I go play that game that has no heat behind it? It is either dead now or doomed to die.
Yeah.
And I think all that really matters is here's this exciting new thing, and gamers do like an exciting new thing, especially when it is like an old thing. When it's like, let's experience Battlefield again. It's safe to jump to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. Here's the other conundrum. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Haley.
No, I was just gonna ask. Like, it seems like it's very nostalgia-based marketing, but I'm someone who plays a lot of shooters and has never touched this. Is this do they get me for this one? Because so far I haven't looked at it this year.
You should check out the trailers. The trailers are very well done, and so I think that marketing angle as well of seeing
but
like
even if it's very nostalgia heavy and I have none.
I think so. I think you see the amount of like destruction in the maps and being like, okay, this looks great. And if I want a shooter, like, why not go for something that's a little bit different? It's been a couple of years since playing a Battlefield. Or if you're just coming in fresh, like, I do think there's an audience that could just see, okay, it looks like a couple of recent Steam hits, but this one just looks like beyond AAA quality here. Like, I do think there's an audience for that.
And there's a strength in the class system and the design too, where you don't have to be an absolute perfect aimer. You can go, support seems like something I'll do. I'll go in and focus on healing friends or maintaining vehicles and stuff. There's enough.
That's cool.
non-shooter hyper proficiency versus Call of Duty is like you are good at shooters or you lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about that too much because I'm so good at shooting. But that's good to know
Of
for
course,
people who
yeah.
are bad at shooting.
Yeah.
Might have to get some help.
So in the realm of oh, hang on. I wanted to make sure. Okay. It is a $70 price point. I was
I
curious.
just looked that up too, actually. When you said it, like this versus Call of Duty, I'm
Yep.
like, did this end up being 80 like that one rumor? It did not. It is $70 US.
Interesting. Yeah, a lot of people were theorizing, and I was thinking about it like, if EA wanted to get in that $80 pool, as you put it, on delayed input, the cold water of the lake, like this is probably their best chance in years. I don't know of a bigger production EA is going to have over the next couple of years than Battlefield 6, right?
They had the meeting. Somebody wanted
Yes.
to charge $80 for this.
Yep,
But I
yep.
think they probably had to balk when Call of Duty said we're going to be 70 this year. So like you can't be more than Call of Duty.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting, yeah.
But yeah, no news on the campaign. They wanted to focus on multiplayer this entire thing. Andy McNamara was on stage saying, "It's coming, it's coming. Stay tuned, everybody. There's more."
Sorry. Andy McNamara, former editor-in-chief of Game Informer, what does he do on? What is his role with the Battlefield team?
Head
Senior
honcho for communications. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
cool.
just tweeted out what is it? It's technically Global Senior Director of Integrated Communications for Battlefield.
Oh my god,
a
that is
title.
long as hell.
What a mess! What a mess of a
He
title.
sounds like a Bond villain or something.
It's cool that he's the on-stage guy. Typically, I feel like that person is like the meetings person who assigns the on-stage person. But it's cool
Right.
he's out there being front-facing.
Yeah, it is fun to see him up there for sure. Because
I wonder if they see that as some legitimacy, his reputation, his amount of time
Sure.
at Game Informer.
I suppose so. And it's like, yeah, he did a decent number of panels. It's not like we did a lot of live podcasting and stuff. Like I remember at the GameStop Expo being on stage doing a podcast with Andy once, and it's like, oh, he seems pretty comfortable on stage. Like this is nice. I was sweating bricks, but
Keeley always loved having him as a panelist.
yeah.
He'd say Andy Mac, and like he knew he'd get like some real good sound bites
Yep.
out of Andy McNamara.
He is very good at that for sure. But yeah, curious to see more about Battlefield 6 and if they can actually stick this landing. Again, it all comes down to how the devs are feeling. If they have enough time to get out a solid release and this thing isn't just
It's crazy how
bleeding.
much the first 3 weeks of a game like this matter. Like
I know,
if the servers are bad, they lose millions of dollars. Even if the servers get fixed on week 4,
Yeah.
it's like, nope, too late.
Too late.
Yep. So we'll see.
I find it so strange that it's set in 2027. Ostensibly, a year
It's
this
really
game will
soon.
still be supported during.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
this
that's
is,
it. I was thinking that too.
I was thinking a lot about it too. Like, what do you do when you hit 2027? And you're still supporting this game? Do you just have like
Well, wait,
an event?
they can just roll out updates that match with what's happening in real life.
Or do things in real life that match the story of the game.
Smart. Yeah.
Oh no.
Start the Civil War with the Pax Armada PMC? Why not? People will talk about it. Battlefield 6, everybody, let me know how you're feeling about it in the comments. Yeah, community seems positive about it so far based on the Reddit, which is fun to see. All right, Haley, frickin' the Drifter.
It's so
Frickin'
good.
Drifter.
Frickin' the Drifter. It looks
Frickin'
sweet.
him up.
I was delighted because clicking through, I was like, okay, who made this thing? And it's Powerhoof. And then-
Australian dev.
Yeah, and then I looked into it, and they made a game called Crawl that I really liked back in 2017.
Oh.
Which, Leo, I don't know if you remember this one. I guess, was that before your time at Game Informer? Maybe you're around then? Yeah.
That's the year I joined.
Okay, yeah, it was like a dungeon crawler, but
Yes.
other
I
three
played this with
players-
friends for the first time.
oh,
recently.
really? Great. Yeah, so it's like the other 3 players can like take control of the monsters, and whoever like kills the person adventuring, like,
bro.
do you remember this? Like they get to become then the
Yeah.
person, so it's just like
Oh,
a
that's
weird
cool.
co-op, but you're working against your friends, working through this dungeon type thing. I'm trying to remember how it works.
Up to a
specifically.
giant boss battle that one of you is being.
right,
the
right.
boss. It's
And it
fun.
was like awesome pixel art. And so, do you remember that, Bosman?
Yeah, and so they went on to today make a fairly straightforward adventure game, or maybe it's not fairly straightforward.
Haley, you tell us,
Oh,
Hotshot.
It's fairly straight. It's very it's a love letter to the genre. I think it's straightforward as it needs to be a point and click adventure game, but the vibes are immaculate, so it feels like more than in relation to that. The gameplay is very much the same that's been used for the last 2 decades, but the music and the pixel art is so freaking good that just
Yeah.
every new area you go to, you're like, oh hell yeah! Even if the puzzles are kind of the same old that you're used to seeing.
Yeah, but you're like an expert. You've played like 4,000 Nancy Drew games. Do you see like you just go through these puzzles and you know exactly what to do all the time?
This one's pretty handholdy, which I didn't mind, honestly, to be honest, because I think what this one does really well is it has fast pacing, which point and click adventure games don't usually have because, especially if you're dumb, just kidding. But if it's like, if you're stopping to do all the puzzles, it doesn't really feel like a page turner because you have to like ruminate and think and work through and combine every single item in your inventory, hear the same voice line, that doesn't fit there, like over and over again while you try to figure everything out. But this one had surprisingly really good pacing that I was intrigued by. I think it was in combo of the fact that when you get an item, it usually gives you a massive hint via him talking of what it should be used for. It doesn't, spoil the puzzle. But say I got a bowl of soup at one point. I was like, what the hell do I use this for? He's like, I should trade this meal with someone else's. I'm like, cool. Now I know what to use the bowl of soup
That's
for.
generous.
I don't have to click. Yeah, like I don't have to click on every single pipe in the world to see if the bowl of soup he pours it in the pipe or something, like I don't have to do any of that. So it like that helps quite a bit. And the other thing that's really fun and unique about this is it's almost kind of he's like the main character, Mick Carter, I believe his name is. The voice acting is also great, but he has this thing where when he dies he comes right back and he just like respawns. Essentially he still feels the death of pain, but then he's like, what the hell, and he's back to where he started right before that happened. So it has a lot of puzzles that you have to solve within a couple minutes, and then even if you die, it's not like, oh, that sucks. It's just like, and he gets brought back, he's like, that didn't work out, and you have to like figure out what to do next. And that's such a great idea for a point and click adventure game because it gives you high stakes without feeling like, oh, this just feels not like I don't actually feel like I'm in danger because it's a point and click adventure game.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's what I really liked about it.
And so the overall story is super cool.
Yeah, it's like
what's the premise?
The premise is this guy is coming back into town for his mom's funeral. His son died quite a while ago, and instead he just kind of like it's so cool. His son died from horrible disease, and then he just skips town and like completely f's over his wife. Essentially, like he can't handle the grief, and instead of being there for her, he just leaves, and he's just like, I can't, and he just goes away. So it's him coming back. His wife has died. His wife or his mom's passed away, but he's become homeless, and he's on a train on the way there. And when the train stops, the doors open, and then all these weird tactical people with guns come and shoot the guy that's in the train with him, who like when he wakes up you just think he's another homeless guy sleeping on the train, but he wakes up and appears to like be trying to escape from somewhere. So they kill him and they're gonna kill you too, but you get out, you run away, and then you slowly learn that all the homeless people in this town have been going missing or going crazy. This reporter lady's talking to you about it, and she gets kidnapped right in front of your eyes. So you're like, what the hell? And then suddenly you realize people are following you, and you're like, what's going on? Like the people from the train want you dead because you've seen too much probably. And then your sister goes missing, and then it's like, then it kind of ramps up into this, like you figure out this crazy conspiracy theory event stuff going on. No one believes you because you don't look the part to know what you're talking about. And you got to sneak around and know codes to get into areas and steal people's, like call people on the phone and pretend you're somebody else, get information to get them to leave their desk. You can go poke at it, that kind of classic point and click stuff. But the pixel art is next level good. It's some of the best pixel art I've ever seen. The lighting, like it had good lighting, which you don't normally say about a pixel art game.
Right. That's awesome. The Drifter is the name of it. I mean, the classic question, is this something that we should be playing before Game of the Year debates level of thing?
It's tough because a lot of people don't like point and click adventure. It's a genre. If you like the genre, you'll absolutely love this game. Like I beat it. It's like 8 hours long. It's up there for me. It's in my 210s. Absolutely. Like it was such a good vibe. It felt like reading a really good pulp like horror book, but I just got to sit at my computer and play it kind of thing. But if you're not into that genre and you get kind of bored with figuring out puzzles, you won't like it. So it's kind of, I recommend it to point and click people. Absolutely. So if you're someone that has a proclivity to that genre, you'll love it. You should play it before the end of the year. Yeah.
Right on.
God bless UFO 50, because I feel like I would have felt like I wouldn't like that genre, but Night Manor in the game was so good that it makes me excited to try those.
Sweet.
Nice.
Cool.
It's very cool.
The Drifter, it's just on Steam right now, but I hear it plays well on like Steam Deck and stuff. Like even though it's point and click.
I played one chapter on Steam Deck, so I was curious if it plays well. I always prefer playing at my PC because it makes me feel like a kid again. Because that's how I always played my point and click games. But it works out nice on Steam Deck, and the controls were intuitive and it looked just as good. So it was good.
Yeah. Did you have some mac and cheese and cut up hot dogs while you played?
No.
Okay.
My mommy wasn't around to make my snacks.
I get it.
Oh.
Hey, mommy made some snacks today, folks. because frickin' Wildgate's out, Leo.
Thanks, mommy.
Dinner bell's ringing, and I'm salivating. Here we go, everybody. Wildgate is out. We talked about it a couple times in the past. Leo played it, I think, in the open beta. I played it like at a preview event and stuff. This is the game that is a bunch of former Blizzard developers. Moonshot Games is the name of this studio under Dreamhaven. Mike Morheim, the co-founder of Blizzard, he went on to create Dreamhaven here. And then Moonshot Games is under that, but Dustin Browder is the director of this game, who was the lead designer for StarCraft 2. And if you jump into it, it has some Overwatch feel to it, but the idea is you need to play it, Haley. We got to play it together. It's Sea of Thieves, sci-fi, match-based squad deathmatch. Get in and out of your ship.
There's a quick one word for that, is there?
I don't know, Leo. It feels too gross just to be like, it's Sea of Thieves, but sci-fi in space. It's a match-based thing. It's not a battle royale or a open world thingy.
That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
PvEVP. It feels very unique to start in your ship, probe out the place you want to explore, walk out the door of your ship, and be floating in space, jetpacking around. Like that doesn't feel like anything else.
Yeah, exactly. And like I was playing a couple rounds with Grant a couple weeks ago and having a blast. And then I was like, okay, this is the game. I need some tips on YouTube. Let's walk through this thing and actually get some tips. And then just seeing the tips made me more excited to go back to the game because it's so obvious. But it's like, okay, obviously what you should do is you're flying around in your ship. They're all randomized with the names and stuff, but they all have really good names. Like, all right, your ship is called the Baby Bear, flying through space in the Baby Bear. And you got to man the different battle stations. You know, one of you can fly it if you want, and all this fun stuff. But just the tip of, okay, what you should really be doing is if you see an enemy ship out there in the cluster of asteroids, you can jump out of your ship, fly through space, just like our wonderful Princess Leia, and then actually sneak into their ship and then just like disable their shields is the big thing. Like bring down their shields and then you can tell your team just to unload everything you've got on them. Or you can just go grab any special guns and like heavy artillery that they managed to collect out there in the reef of just the asteroids and stuff like that. Just grab any of their great guns, rip them out of their ship, and then just throw them in space, and their guns will just slowly float away.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is inspiring to just have these new emotions while playing presumably a first-person shooter. You know?
Yeah. True. You can also take them and use them. One of our most memorable losses was we had this battering ram we were trying to use. Not really battering ram. It's like a laser ram that you kind of, if you can hold it on them, it cuts through their hull and it does continuous damage. We had somebody sneak on our ship, take that, put it on theirs, and eviscerate us with it.
That's ours, man. That's not fair.
Which is like, we could have protected it better.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Are you getting the hang of it? Do you feel like you understand?
No.
Okay.
The first beta, we had a lot of great matches, a couple clutch wins, a couple just good fights, and then losses. The second beta, all bad matches. Everything since the game launched, all bad matches. I mean, interesting losses, I guess, in the laser ramp situation, but
right.
I'm having trouble getting my feet under me, as other people have learned it more than I have.
Yeah. It's like
even with the whole group.
They help out in a big way of just like, okay, if you find some equipment or some weapons around the world as you're kind of looting around in the startup of the match and stuff, like they'll show you where it'll go on your ship. Like I do feel like they help you in a big way there, but just a matter of like the specifics of like, wait, which weapon should I be prioritizing? What skills does this specific character type that I'm going up against have? But still, I mean, yeah, I lost every match I played and I still had a blast playing it. Like I don't think it should be like an impossible learning curve or something. Like it's Blizzard level friendly, like
it is very streamlined for sure. You'll know what's going on. I think what I direct my anger at when I lose is that there is so much unlockable stuff that's better than the stuff you start with, including a ship that has 60-70% more health and way more guns and all the doors auto lock. It's like you just have to grind up one of the little free passes to unlock that ship. Stuff like that is so frustrating.
That never feels good.
Yeah, that's rough. And it's not a free-to-play game, which is nice. It's $30, which I'd much rather have that than them trying to nickel and dime you even further to try and unlock these things. Or do you feel like just the progression still is making you feel as if it was free-to-play emotions in there?
I don't think free-to-play do play to win so much. I think it's pretty uniquely bad in that way. And that's something that probably goes away after a few hours. Like, it's not buried super deep in there. It just is a bad feeling to start the game with. I don't think it adds anything versus letting you either choose from the layout of ships that everybody has access to at the start, or like randomizing that more so it's can work in your favor sometimes instead of you always getting annihilated by people who have played more than you. For the first
Right.
few hours.
So the ship layouts are fairly predetermined.
Yeah, there's 4 ship types that have the same layouts.
So you
each
know like
time.
where to go. You know like where the engine room is going to be every time you hop into one of those.
Once you've explored it, because they are different from each other. But
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's funny. It's just jumping into it. It's like it makes me feel good. It makes me feel even just the UI. It feels so Blizzard and someone who's still nostalgic over Blizzard of the past. And like the production quality I think is super solid. Like if this was Blizzard's new IP, it'd have completely unfair expectations on it and stuff like that. But I don't think you'd play it and be like, this feels cheap for Blizzard. Like it just feels, I think, really solid to play. And I think it looks great too. I'm happy to see it's not tanking out of the gate. It's doing art. It's got like 2,000 players right now. And it seems like it's just going to be one of those games that's going to have, hopefully, a passionate community that is pushing for it, and they can continue to build on this. And they have like a pretty thorough roadmap of stuff coming up for new characters and new ships and all that funky stuff.
Yeah, it's a great pitch. It's definitely something I want to put more time into. And like, those I haven't had a good match in a couple months at this point,
Yeah.
but boy, those good matches were good.
Oh, that's sweet.
You remember that Halo 1 map where it's like it's in space,
Yes.
and there's like 2 large ships that are
Yes.
like across from each
Yeah.
other, and you can
Yes.
like kind of just coast like that's like this game like is like a fantasy to me.
Yes.
It's like I've always like wanted to like go invade my opponent's ship. You know what I mean? I
Yep.
think that's so cool.
Yep, for sure. And
Yeah.
like some of the heroes are like more stealthy, getting into the ship and stuff like that. And
That's
so
who I'd want
that's
to be.
sweet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sneaky guy.
Being on the ship guns and catching someone coming over and just annihilating them with one shot from your giant ship cannon as they're floating over. Yeah, that's
Also,
good
it's
stuff.
just so fun to have like if you're piloting the ship around the big asteroid reef, like just actually physically looking around, and seeing out your huge windshield just to look for the enemy ships is so fun. Like I'm flying trying to get to these resources over here, but I'm also just like looking. It's not VR, but just still mousing around and looking and be like, okay, there might be an enemy ship coming around any corner of any of these huge space bodies at any point. It's just so fun to look out for like when do we need to be at like high alert? There's another ship
Yeah.
coming, or like you're fighting a ship, and then suddenly, okay, now another ship has just arrived and it's ramming into you from the other side. Just trying to get a sense of the dynamics of like, okay, are they only fighting me, or are they going to team up against the other guy with us? Just trying to get a sense of like where everybody else is at in space. Such a cool feeling.
Yeah, there's that whole element of like picking your battles that I don't get a
Mhm.
lot of in online multiplayers, where you see another battle going on, you go, when do I swoop in? Who's the bigger threat here? Or you and another ship will see each other, but it's way too early, and you like both decide not to fight each other.
Fun.
Yeah.
Or you think you aren't, but somebody's sneakily boarding you. There's lots of room to have unconventional fights in there.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm hoping to play more.
cool.
It's on PC and PS5 and Xbox right now. Wildgate. Yeah, Grant's in the chat. Thanks, Grant. He says that's why we lost Ben. Super ships. Yeah, I think it's the super ships, man. They're bringing us
If you want to
down.
blame your loss on something, I've been finding great success with that.
Okay, fantastic, Grant.
Were you
Mommy's
guys
very
playing on
empathetic.
PC?
Yeah.
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 Come
That's
join
where
us,
I wanna
Haley.
play
Come join us, please. You'll love it.
I want to play. The other day, you were like, "Let's all play this," and I was busy. I was like, "Ah," because I do really want to play it.
That's your one chance. Hey, Kyle Bosman. You've been here long enough. Do you know the secrets of the ways yet?
You mean how this whole thing operates?
That's right. Do you know?
I've been trying to figure it out. It's still not clear to me. Can you explain it one more
Oh
time?
my God, the way it works. And I want to yell, but I'm getting frustrated. Some people don't know yet. We're an
Yeah.
independent outlet here. We only exist because of listeners and viewers saying, you know what? I guess it's up to me to jump in for $2 a month or $5 a month and support them on Patreon at patreon.com/MinnMax with 2 N's. Jump in at any tier that's right for you. And if you jump in before August 4th, we will DM you a Steam code for Lumines Remastered, thanks to Enhanced Games. So please check it out. Unlock a benefit as well. Hey, Wall of Heroes is coming up. Put an image of your choice on every MinnMax video throughout the entire month of August for $50 on Patreon. You get your image seen over 1 million times. You can't top that. That's better than billboard pricing. That's as good as you can get. So please help
I
support
like
us.
when
We
there's
appreciate
pets in there.
it. More pet pictures, please.
I saw
You know
one
what I-
that's a really cute German Shepherd looking dog and says, "MinnMax is Callie approved." And I always go, "Hi, Callie," in my head when I see it. So I will think of your dog or cat if you put it in there.
And when
That's a good
I'm making
recommendation.
images and stuff and doing clips, it's like, oh, this person who happened to be up on the Wall of Heroes is really getting a bonus here. It's like they sponsored this clip.
Yeah.
And they're in the still image where it never even changes from what they are. I say, what a great bonus for this person.
I think it's fun. Thank you as well to some of our biggest supporters, people like I'm 8-Bit. They want everybody to know about the physical version of Tales of the Shire that they have in I Am 8-Bit's wonderful online store. They have the physical exclusive edition for Switch and PS5. If you want to check that out from Private Division and Middle-earth Enterprises and Oweta Workshop there. And you can go to I Am 8-Bit's wonderful online store. It is truly great. And you can use the promo code World UFO Day. World UFO Day for 10% off of everything that's under $100 in their wonderful online store. I promise, if you're a dork and if you're listening to this podcast, sorry, but we just talked about the marketing of Battlefield 6 for like half an hour, so I assume you're also a dork. And all dorks will love I Am 8-Bit's wonderful online store. You know how all dogs go to heaven?
It's like all dogs go to heaven.
I can't watch that movie. It makes me cry too much.
It's kind of like that, but all dorks go to heaven if they go to I Am 8-Bit's wonderful online store, because they truly have
all dorks do not go to heaven.
But go to their online store, use that promo code, help support I Am 8-Bit, keep them around because they support the MinnMax community in a huge way by shipping in a prize each and every week to whoever submits the best question on Patreon. And
you want to know a cool thing? We've
Yes.
never actually talked about this.
Sure.
I know you're just winding up a huge and probably for the Rumor Meister. Sorry to interrupt. But I did I worked for I Am 8-Bit for a little while. It was basically how I got into the biz.
What? How?
Oh, cool.
So back when they were like doing events, when they would do like a Dead Rising 2 party, right? Like where they would throw an event.
Yeah.
Like I would help out with like gigs. I would do gigs with them for a while, which was cool.
Oh, weird. Was that the era
And
where...
then that connection helped me get an interview at Game Trailers to work on their TV show, GTTV. So like,
Wow.
I Am 8-Bit was like my whole start in this whole thing.
What were your responsibilities?
Basically production assistant. So like, setting things up, moving monitors to where they need to go. Particularly, I'm thinking, but like one time I was like, would also do like weird like mail outs, like when like they like were sending like orange juice for that game where you kick people in first person. You know what I'm talking about? From People Can Fly.
Oh,
Bulletstorm.
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 Yes.
Dead Rising
Bulletstorm
also
orange
would be an
juice.
orange juice game.
Yeah, there were like sneakers I had to like iron on symbols to. I don't remember what game the sneakers were for.
Oh, wow.
So like sometimes just like producing things that would be mail outs and sometimes helping out with the parties and events they would be throwing.
That's fun. Something I always
Cool.
think about is when they were working on Mega Man Universe, which was like that Mega Man game with like level creators, and they made like that stop motion reveal video for Mega Man Universe. Remember that weird thing?
Yeah.
That seemed so cool.
It's such a weird. I like looked at a screenshot of that, or a promotional screenshot of that recently. It is really weird.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm 8-Bit. Help support them. They give Kyle Bosman a start in the industry. And we're going to choose our number one favorite person who submitted a question this week for the podcast, and they're going to win the Battletoads vinyl soundtrack. They said I'm 8-Bit. So
Not our favorite person, but our favorite question.
that's right. We can't vouch for the person, but we can vouch as hell for the question.
Sorry, the Battletoads what?
Vinyl soundtrack.
I know.
Oh my God,
That's right.
the original one?
Yeah.
We're talking David Wise?
We're talking David Wise
Ooh,
soundtrack.
Yeah, oh, heck yeah.
Mhm.
Do you think there's a track of the pause music?
I bet there is.
Yeah, I would
I
hope.
have faith. How many tracks could they have had in that NES game? I mean, come on. 6?
Sure.
Yeah. Hey, Adam Cohen writes in. They say, hello, MinnMax. Can Haley give an explanation of the Sony lawsuit against Tencent? As someone with no legal background, it feels pretty obvious that Tencent is guilty here. Do they have any defense? Now, you all talked about this on Bonus Pod a little bit, but it was before Haley got a chance to read the lawsuit. But the basic idea is Tencent made a game that was extremely Horizon Zero Dawn. And then this week, Sony said, no! And they filed a lawsuit. And they
Sony got
called them
mad.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Copyright and trademark. So a double whammy.
Okay, so is there any chance that Tencent can defend their complete ripoff of Horizon Zero Dawn?
I mean, yeah, like their argument would be, not legal advice, would be that I'm getting shorter and shorter with my disclaimer, by the way, the more I do this. Their argument would be that they've changed it enough that it has its own unique originality now, because under copyright law, even if you make something that's derivative, if you then insert enough originality, it becomes your own thing. So, I mean, though I think their big problem is the way they portrayed the game in the key art and the trailer. It's very look and feel of it is way too Horizon. There's a thing under trademark law called trade dress, which is essentially like, would someone be confused and think they're buying a Guerrilla Games game instead of this 10-cent game?
Right.
And there's likely a fairly, like, I looked at that, I was like, is that a Horizon DLC? Like, someone could get confused and buy the wrong thing if they weren't knowledgeable about, like, you know, what's going on in the game industry, and they're just looking to buy the Robo Dinosaur game their friend told them about, kind of thing.
Yep.
And if it was too similar and they get confused. But, you know, they would just have to argue, like, enough of our game is different, that it's different from Horizon. It does have extremely different gameplay. Leo and I were looking at the trailer. It looks like Monster Hunter fighting, and then there's, like, collection of wood and stuff and base building and all of that.
And it's an MMO.
Yeah,
which
true.
they just like totally obscure in the trailer we watched. Like they knowingly are trying to not make it look like that, I guess. That's how
it's like they're trying. It's almost like a marketing strategy to have a lawsuit, which I think is fascinating.
Do you think so?
I don't know, but
about it.
Seems to be
sure.
we're freaking talking about this game, but it's like kind of what Leo and I are talking about. Is I'm fascinated by a potential strategy of knowing the Chinese domestic market is so huge that even if they get locked out of the West from this Sony lawsuit, it's fine. They'll make their money in the Chinese market, and then maybe they won't get the lawsuit and they can make some money in the West too.
Right.
But either way, let's lean on the popularity of this IP, make our game really look like it, you know, and then if we get sued, whatever, just sell in China. Like, that's fascinating if that's a new strategy, and if so, major devs in the West and like publishers in the West are going to be like, oh crap, because then that essentially means a bunch of games that are really derivative of Western popularized games get made in China and sell really great there. And as long as there's, you know, some kind of argument that the entirety of it isn't copyright infringement, like they don't just take their code and like release the code over there and call it Horizon Zero China, you know what I mean, and then just like sell the same game. But we're talking more on like a per asset analysis here, whereas it's like, is this monster the same as, is their sawtooth the same as their like weird looking cat robot? How similar? It's different enough, that's fine. Okay, next asset. Like, I feel bad for the lawyers that have to comb this stuff because it's just staring at like thousands of assets and then taking a step back and thinking, are enough of those assets similar enough to warrant that this game now violates the trade dress argument, aka someone would get confused. It would be a ton of work, thousands and thousands of legal hours of work for that lawsuit.
It is interesting talking about outcomes because as we think about it, it's like I envision far fewer people. You know, lots of people finding out about this game because of this lawsuit, myself included. I imagine a lot fewer people will go, how dare they? I'll never touch that.
Yeah.
Horizon's special to me. I'm with you, Sony. Far fewer people will do that than go, I'd love to play Horizon MMO. Cool. I'll keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
Leo did point out, like, why is her hair red, dude? Come on. Like, even if they just, the main protagonist girl's hair is red, which just feels like, it adds this layer of just like, we don't care-ness to this.
Yeah.
That makes it feel intentional. Just the color of her hair alone, to me, it's just like, you didn't have a lawyer look at it and go, hey, all this is super similar, make her blonde. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at least have a little bit of a veil there to say, like, we're not trying to be complete copycats. The fact they made her have red hair, I was like, oh, come on. This has to be on purpose.
It feeling on purpose for the trailer, it's an MMO. You're going to be making your own character.
Right.
Yeah.
It could have been anything. It could have been multiple different characters that all each look different.
Yeah, all the key art features that specific character from the MMO that looks just like Aloy.
Yeah.
Like, why do that?
It helps, though, when you're talking about, hey, we're talking about it, aren't we? We have not said the name of this game, and we shan't say the name of this game.
I don't remember it.
I don't remember it either.
Haley, I got a legal question. So earlier in this podcast, when we were using the verb slander casually, were you in your head saying, that's not slander?
No, I don't. I'm not quite there yet for annoying a
Okay.
lawyer. Yeah, no
Fingers
worries.
crossed you get there. We're rooting for you, Haley. That's your
Give me 10 more years of practice and then I'll be that annoying.
Yeah. That's your Digi-evolution. Ricky Winterborn writes in, they say, does everyone at MinnMax work remotely? I guess I work in person in my house. Anyone miss an office environment or work from home is 100% superior, Ricky asks.
It's 100% superior. I've worked in offices and, I just love there has to be a level of trust there. I totally get it. But once you have it with your boss, it's just like, oh, it's so much better. I have a dog too.
Yeah.
She just thinks my job is being at home with her all day, which I love that she gets to live her life thinking that. When some other dogs live at home alone. And it's just doing things at your own pace, finishing work when you need to, scheduling your calls when you need to. You don't have to ask anybody about, using the room to have a meeting or whatever. Like all that stuff just goes out the window. And as long as your work gets done, it gets done.
But it's also
it's the best.
That stuff goes out the window. But then along with that, it's potential points of friction. You're never going to be pissy at Jimmy down the hall because he cooks a bunch of stinky stuff in the work kitchen. Like even it feels like the possibilities of you getting really frustrated by your coworkers goes down precipitously if you're just working from home and just jumping into meetings with them here and there, right?
It's so true.
Did that happen to you?
Oh, Jimmy down the hall? He sucked.
Yeah, that was such a particular reference. Was there ever a time at Game Informer where there was a stinky thing in the kitchen?
At Game Informer, who was Jimmy down the hall?
There's definitely popcorn burners would pop up every once in a while.
That's
there should be a special circle in hell for them, I think. Yeah. You got to listen. When the pops stop, get that crap out of there. Come on. But I miss it. I think hybrid would be my sweet spot in a perfect world. Like, think about how excited we are, Haley, to all get together next week for the community meetup, and the fact that all 9 of us are going to be in the same space.
Content creation, of course.
Yeah.
In person. I'm talking more like an office job, which is what I have. Like at home, 1,000%, any day of the week. If I ever have to switch back to an in-person office job, I would rather die.
I do. I think about it a lot in the sense of like having a 2-year-old. And I think about it all the time of like if I worked full time in an office or even back in the Game Informer office now, like I can't imagine the stress that all those parents are going through. Like I feel like it's very stressful having a kid regardless, but like, good Lord, if you have a demanding in-person job, complete tip of the cap to you for pulling it off. Like I am confused about how it works. I guess just hopefully some flexibility here and there when you need to squeeze out the door earlier or later or something. It's wild.
But then what sucks in that instance for the people that don't have kids who work with a bunch of in-person people who have kids, they get first priority for everything. It drives me crazy. When I was working retail, it's like, oh, I have this weekend booked off for the last 6 months because it's my friend's wedding, and someone goes, my kid has a freaking stupid recital and I need it. And they go, Betsy really needs it, Haley. Can you give it to Betsy? And I'm like, I can give a crap what Betsy's up to.
Hey!
I booked this months ago.
I liked that recital.
Probably sucks, and I have something important to do, but no one takes that seriously because the kids exist. Oh, it drove me nuts.
I get that.
One thing I miss about working with a group, right, is the idea of a writer's room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being able to pitch stuff, bounce stuff off people live is, I think, so much more effective than emailing them your dry script.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's an aspect I miss big time about an office space or live interaction.
Definitely. I think there's a bar an idea has to cross for it to be worth messaging someone about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're just all standing around and you can just eject anything out of your mouth at any time, and that's the way it normally goes, then you can have an idea that might not in your mind you'd after a minute go, this isn't anything. You say whatever, and that snowballs. You get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you don't, and it's still just more fun. I would do hybrid as well. I feel like 2 days a week would be my ideal. But if I had to choose, home is superior. There's a lot of benefits.
The nice thing is it's your house, yeah. But we talked about it before, but just the rapid fire question planning and stuff. Like it's so nice to be able to get in person and just have a nice breakfast and then just having that in-person session just for writing those questions and quote unquote jokes. Like so many of those things would not bubble up if it was in a Discord call even. Like I think there's just some ability to play off each other that only comes across in person, and it leads to oh, now this question is completely different. It's worded this way, or this joke would not exist if it wasn't for that look, that smirk that Jeffem had over breakfast, it's just fun to see the tangible interaction there. Bosman, it'd be fun for you to do a rapid fire at some point. That seems like extremely in your wheelhouse.
I feel like you'd kill at that.
You kill people with that.
Yeah, I was actually. Can I ask you a weird question? A sensitive question?
Yeah.
So you took rapid fire when Game Informer closed, right?
Whoa, hey, whoa, come on, man.
And then when Game Informer comes back, you just get to keep rapid fire? Was there ever like a formal discussion about that?
Lawyer.
As much discussion as happened about it happened on this podcast.
Yeah, if you want, you can actually.
Ben, do not respond to this question as your lawyer. Do not respond to this question.
Yeah, we literally talked about it in the Game Informer Has Revived episode of the podcast. You can hear Kyle Hilliard kind of get defensive and territorial about it in a fun way.
Yeah.
And Kyle,
As did you.
Oh, very much so. That's true. How diplomatic of you, you jerk, Leo. So yeah, it is in the camp of, I'm not saying they can't do it. I think it's lame if they do it, but I'm not saying they can't. I mean, by all
I think we
means.
need to go to the trademark office and file a quick little trademark. So
Who knows?
Because Hansen did start it.
Right.
And
but he was an employee of Game Informer Inc.
But
Sweet Baby
also,
Inc.
it's like, it's just the format. It's just a format for, like, you know, IGN did like a bunch of rapid fire interviews. Everyone does rapid fire interviews. You know, they call them rapid fire. It's just like a style, you know? It's not.
Okay.
You know.
It's too descriptive to be a trademark. We're fine.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Nice.
Please have
Not
mercy on
legalized.
us. Yeah. Angel Inel. Come on. They say
Try again. Try again.
Engelinel? Is there some phrase here I'm not seeing?
That
Spell it
sounds
for
right.
us.
Engelinul. Ingenital?
Pretty good.
All right. In Genitals writes in, they say, hey, MinnMax, my son and I recently got to tour our first video game studio, a friendly site known for their unique work model, never making a third game in a series. Interesting. And their boat-based president. Okay, keep filling in the gaps. We got to see many amazing things like hardware prototypes, a 20-foot snack bar. Vertical?
Hold on, hardware prototype? They got like a super like tour. That's crazy.
Interesting. And a beautiful view of the surrounding city. I was especially happy to see all the art all over the office, though. Most of it was concept art, but there seemed to be some amateur art that looked more like love letters to their subjects. The whole place was amazing. What are some of your favorite details or specific moments from studios you have visited?
I don't go to many.
You've been to some, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever go on site?
I never be going on site.
Have you
It's
ever
never
been
on
in a game
site.
studio?
I think I've been in the Halifax Ubisoft office. That's
That
it.
counts.
Does that count? Besides that, I'm trying to think. When I was a Game Informer, I don't think I ever did.
Wow, interesting. All right, so
Yeah.
MinnMax Spotlight with you at some point would be fun to find the right studio to go visit. Yeah.
I
Bosman,
get to see their houses of game developers all the time and their backgrounds when I call them.
see, this is why we need that hybrid model. You don't want to see houses like that. They need to be in a cool office space.
That's
Yeah, Bosman, do you visit studios a lot?
No, but so my favorite studio visiting story is back when I was working QA at Activision. I was working on Transformers War for Cybertron QA. And what's crazy about Activision QA is like there's the publisher QA and then there's like the in-house development studio QA team, which are more beloved and they listen to their bugs more than listen to the Activision bugs. But we found this bug in like the horde mode of the game where if you got to like a certain level, the game broke and it would like stop spawning enemies or something. The in-house team at Half Moon Studios is what the
High
studio?
Moon.
Sorry?
High Moon.
High Moon Studios, thank you. They couldn't do it. They couldn't pull off what we were pulling off in the Activision studios. So for one whole workday, they said, drive to High Moon, the four of you. So we got in this one guy's car. We drove to High Moon to go into their studio to get to that certain level of horde mode on their computers where they could track what was going wrong better. And that was really cool.
Oh,
That's
nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
They had catering. They had like Transformers toys all over their cubicles, which I thought was really cool. They were really nice people.
Yeah.
And they were just super into the game that they were making. I really liked that. That was a fun day.
That's nice. Yeah, I went there for the fall of Cybertron cover story trip, and I remember they had a bunch. They're like, "Oh, we're working on another game on that part of the office," and there was a bunch of Marvel stuff around. So it's like, "What are they possibly working on?" And it's like, "Oh, it turns out that was the Deadpool game that they were
cool.
making over
Heck
there."
yeah.
Yeah, but then it was a crazy thing where there was a wild power outage in all of Carlsbad, California there, and so we were gonna like go out to dinner with the developers that night, and then all the electricity was out, so all the restaurants were shut down. And so, like, I think it was the president of High Moon. I'm trying to remember his exact role. He was definitely very high up. But he's like, hey, tell you what, how about you just come over to my house and I'll just I'll grill some food for you. Like on my grill. I was like, awesome. Yeah. So we went over and had a great
really
time.
cool.
Except it was a good.
I forgot it was Carlsbad. That's a drive, bro.
That's a haul. But then I remember for some reason he had like a seesaw, a teeter-totter in his like backyard. And so Ben Reeves and I, respectfully, after some drinks, we're like, oh, let's ride the seesaw. We're having fun. This is a good time. And I remember Matt Miller, who's now the editor-in-chief of Game Informer, was giving us a look like, what are you a-holes doing? Like, you can't
I would
ride.
be so mad.
We were having a good. It wasn't like out of line. We weren't like,
It was out of line. Guaranteed it was out of line.
to ride a seesaw that's there.
You're tearing
belongs
down the
to that-
walls.
That
You're doing
person,
everyone a
that
favor.
person,
Yes,
that's
thank
a
you.
child's seesaw. You're
Yeah, we're
playing
not
with a child's.
We're not destroying it. Anyways, I defend
Too
all
big.
seesaw riding. I'm not too big. I prefer a seesaw. Andy Wees writes in and says,
I've noticed in all the studios I visited at Game Informer, I feel like the food, like Kyle was saying with the catering, that's a relatively low overhead thing that a lot of studios do. It amp up to keep people happy, and that's fun. I think it was Insomniac that had like a really decked out cereal bar,
yeah.
like the kind where you have the cereals in the different jars and you like pull the lever to open it up into your bowl. And also visiting Blizzard, which had a Starbucks inside. Double
Wow.
boycott going on right now in this story. They had like themed drinks.
Hold on, what's going on? What's going on with Starbucks?
We've been boycotting them for a while. It's so long I don't even remember why.
Okay,
But I've got to close their coffee place anyway.
sure.
But they had a Winston themed banana drink. They had like themed specialty
Oh,
drinks
that's
around
good.
Blizzard
Oh,
things on
that's
the chalkboard
nice.
in there.
Yeah.
That's very cute.
That's very cute.
Did you order one?
Yeah, that's what
You
I got. It
had
was
to
good.
have.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's funny. I remember that Insomniac Kitchen as well, because remember they had blueberry muffins in there. And I was like, wait, you could just have infinite blueberry muffins all day, every day? I'd be 8,000 pounds by the end of the week. You kidding me?
Because the thing is, like, those people are working extremely hard, especially at the point when, they're bringing in people like in Game Informer to like do promotional interviews.
Yeah, yeah.
They're probably miserable at that point. They're like, we don't care about the muffins, man. I'm here for 10 hours.
Pay me healthcare. Give me healthcare.
Yeah.
Pay me healthcare. Andy.
Pay me.
Starbucks union busting.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Andy
Oh,
Weiss,
nasty. Okay.
Andy Weiss says, hey, y'all. There are reports that Warner Brothers is doing another live service game after Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad. Well, how to say this kindly, did a really bad job. How you say at making money. So sorry, Andy Weiss. That felt like it should have been a Jeff Goldblum delivery, and I blew it. I apologize.
Yeah. No, that was
It
good
still
delivery.
landed somehow.
Yeah. Here's a challenge. Pitch a game that would be a success, but it has to stay as a live service game.
Does it have to be DC as well, or are we just?
No, I think it can be anything.
Okay.
Has to be live service.
Okay. I feel like untapped live service potential always is like ruining it for other people and feeling the joy of like harming somebody else.
Interesting.
I feel like Rust is that. You know what I mean? But like the idea of like giving me new ways to ruin other people's stuff every month is kind of compelling to me.
So it'd have to have like a robust decorate your place system to
Mhm.
facilitate the eventual ruining of that thing. you
Right, and so
cultivated.
like season 1 is Skunk, the season of the skunk, and if you fill out the season pass, you unlock skunks to release in other people's homes.
Oh. And then you have to buy that. What's that smell thing that came out that lets you smell games? Didn't Jacob Geller get one? You have to have that plugged in order to play
Have
the
to.
season skunk.
Yeah. It'll log you out if you don't have it plugged in.
Exactly.
Yeah, that seems good. So just pain and suffering.
Oh, Pain's a good name. Pain.
It's already taken.
Live service game Pain.
Yeah.
It's already taken?
Yeah, wasn't that game on PS3, the downloadable game called Pain?
It's one of the first games to have trophies.
Yeah, sorry. They really
They
did.
do.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And skunks too.
They'd sue. I'm trying to think of something like Rematch, which is a sleeper good idea of take the most popular sport that hasn't been done quite this way.
Right.
It's not free to play, but it is a live service game. Is there any other most popular thing in the world?
Yeah.
What?
Hunting games.
Sorry, what?
Like Big Buck Hunter. But what if like Nintendo was like, we're making our first real live service game, but it's Duck Hunt.
Ooh,
And it's like
okay, go
open
on.
world, And
Okay.
you have events where it's like, okay, it's the ducks. You know, you got realistic looking ducks. You got 8-bit ducks. You can customize the dog in fun ways. But then it's
The
like we got special events where like every 2 months you're hunting a different Nintendo character, and it's like most dangerous game,
Oh my god, yeah.
right?
Like
Yeah.
Wario
Wow.
is out there.
Yeah, go find him. See if you can find him. Or it's like it's all at night, and you're hunting Luigi, and you can see him every time he turns on his stupid flashlight. It's like, I've got
Yeah,
you
yeah,
now in
yeah.
my sights, dude.
And he wants to kill you too.
Yeah, he wants to suck you
Yeah.
up.
So this is like Hitman style almost.
Yeah, yep, I suppose
Hitman Duck Hunt
so. Mm-hmm.
live service.
Hitman Duck Hunt. Hello, dollar bills. I'm about to get you.
Seriously, like here, we're doing really goofy answers to this question, but
Yeah.
I truly think that game as a service needs to be slightly off the wall to grab attention today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Agreed.
like the easy example is like Helldivers, like that marketing push, like the updates for Helldivers, of like incorporating the lore into the idea of the updates itself. Is that off the wall enough for you? You're talking like you need real world
Uma
interaction.
Sumume.
Yeah, God bless you.
Uma Musume. Excuse me. Yeah, off the wall. Super off the wall.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of off the wall, Galax writes in and says, "Hey, you know how we're always running in video games to save time? What if we
Heck yeah.
normalized running everywhere in day-to-day life? How much time would
No.
you
This
save?"
This is a fun question.
Isn't
No.
it good?
I'm not doing this.
But what if it was just like, is that a Better Quest goal? Just maybe a month is a lot, but
Run
like
everywhere.
for 1 week, default movement is running.
I remember leaving my friend's house to go home in high school, putting my headphones in. And, you know, I'm not a runner. I've only ever ran in short spurts and then walked, and ran in short spurts and then walked, you know, alternating and then getting my breath back up. That's how I've always been. And that's how I got home, with my intent to get home soon. And as I rounded the corner after my 5-10 minute journey, I finally heard my then girlfriend calling my name, who had been walking and then running to catch up to me the entire time. But my
So you were at
headphones
least
in.
faster than she was.
Yeah,
So the
You can
bear
escape.
got her.
right. So running
Oh,
didn't
dear.
feel very normal then.
Huh.
I recently got off of my first flight in the Montreal airport. If you've ever been to the Montreal airport, it's so ass if you're going international, because you have to go essentially to the one whole side of the airport, and then they let you through a gate, and then you gotta come all the way back to the other side of the airport, and then you gotta go back again to get to the American side. It's like my least favorite airport. Anyways, I had like 21 minutes to do that 3 airport length of time.
That's
So I had to run, or I was
Yeah.
going to lose hundreds of dollars. So I ran. And I've never hated being a human being who breathed more than I was running, because there was a woman there, and God, I was so humbled because she had 2 kids with her. One was like a toddler, and one was in like a stroller, and I was barely keeping up the pace with her. Her and I were running for the same flight. Like every time we had to stop and go at like customs, we're like, hurry the F up. Oh my God, like our flights across the place we gotta go. Her and I would look at each other and have the same like, oh, but like I couldn't pass her. She was the toddler kid. Her carrying her toddler and pushing the freaking stroller was about the same pace marker that I needed to get across the whole freaking airport. And anyways, it was just the worst. But I guess in that instance, I was being forced to run and not just like,
Yeah.
I'd like to run a few feet and then stop, like Leo's saying.
I don't think it would save you time in your everyday life, because I feel like I'd go to the hospital if I was sprinting around my house, like in my
Oh, even around the
socks.
house.
Yeah, like up and down the stairs, full sprint, rounding every corner, full sprint. Like I'm gonna end myself poorly.
I'm gonna die.
I'm gonna get hurt, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I think running should be normalized in movie theaters. So like, let's say I have to take a bio break in the middle of a movie.
Yes,
It
yes,
shouldn't be
yes.
weird that I'm some guy running
Yes.
to the bathroom and then running
Preach,
back out.
preach. Yes.
That's a great point.
Everybody should be running in a movie
I
theater.
do a light hustle and I feel like a jackass, and I don't want
Yeah.
that shame anymore.
I hate being perceived when I move faster than a meander every time, no matter where I
Yeah.
am though. Like it's not just the airport and or a movie theater. Like if I'm with my dog, even if I'm in running gear and I run more than 10 feet, I'm like glancing around to see if anyone's perceiving me. I hate it.
I agree. Yeah, I need like invisibility. Like I need to wear Frodo's little
Yes.
shawl while I'm working out. I would put that shawl over my entire body. It'd be so
It'd be
nice.
like hot yoga shawl, and also you're invisible.
Right. Oh, that'd be nice.
Of course, that makes sense. What I said.
I heard it. Travis
Wait,
and Fargo.
I'm sorry. Frodo had a shawl that makes him invisible?
Harry.
Cloak.
Ain't no way. Was that a magic cloak?
Yes.
I thought they just had a convenient rock-colored shawl.
No,
So he's
no,
got
no,
like
no,
Octocam on his cloak?
I think it is. Yeah, it's Metal Gear Solid 4 cloak. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But you're right. I was
cool.
thinking Harry Potter, and that's shameful for me. And
Yeah, of
I
course it is.
apologize for my words and deeds. Travis and Fargo writes, and they say, should MinnMax style shurikens be implemented into social settings and political discourse?
You will always be an asshole if you're talking about like, hey, whatever you're talking about, I don't like it. I'm gonna shuriken it while you're just talking to someone would suck.
Yeah, so to explain to anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, it was like 3 podcasts ago though, right? When we're talking about top 5 blanks of all time, everyone gets one poison shuriken to just stop talking about that game, removing it from the discussion entirely.
Right.
I think it would be healthy. You ever have a friend who's just like, I really don't want to discuss this right now, and like
Yeah.
everybody backs off like it's no problem.
Yeah.
I feel like the shuriken's just like a nice way to handle that, where like we all owe each other at least one of those things to just not talk about.
Yeah.
And if it's just like, I'm going to shuriken that, conversation over, I actually think that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, or it's like we're having an argument about it and no progress is being made. It will never move on.
Yeah, absolutely. Political discourse, I feel like that could be handy too. I don't know, can you throw it like at a podcaster and just like, let's just stop this topic forever. You're wasting your time. Stop talking about this thing.
I was thinking more of like Thanksgiving dinner table, and your
Oh,
uncle won't
yeah.
shut up
Yeah.
about
Those
politics
uncles.
and
Toss the
chuck it
shuriken.
across the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, pass the turkey. I'm going to pass
And
something
he
your way
has
too,
to
buddy.
respect it.
A real shuriken would work for this.
I could just kill my uncle.
Doesn't even need to be
You can introduce
poison.
those.
Yeah, everyone, you can just murder your uncle. It's legal.
The
in most
conversation will
states.
be now about
Okay,
what happened.
Hamlet. Get it? Because he killed him.
Hey, Cat Pernicus. Oh, you're talking about, it's kind of like Mufasa?
Yeah.
Oh, I get
Just
it
like
now.
Mufasa, that classic live-action Lion King movie.
Don't you murder my brother. Cat Pernicus writes in, they say, missed joke opportunity. Last week, Janet said that Yoshi is a fun guy. Someone should have said, no, Toad is the fun guy.
No. I can tell you one question that is not going to get the I Am 8-Bit prize of the week.
No one's ever done this. Wow, heading him off at the pass.
You're poison shuriking a question.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
throwing
yeah.
my poison shuriken at that question.
Yeah. Scott Castro, try this one out for size. It says, missed joke
Okay.
opportunity. Last week, when you were discussing which games to compare wordplay to, Jacob mentioned bananagrams. Missed opportunity for a perfectly timed, ooh, banana. Would that have been funny?
I'll shuriken that one.
It would depend on the delivery. If you did it just like you did right there, it would have been crickets.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's standard.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna throw my little poison shuriken at a topic. Haley, are you combining the word shuriken and Hadouken every time you say it? Because it kind of
Don't call attention to the way I say things wrong, because I do it so much. What I say?
I do too.
Shuriken is
You're
what
like
you have been
shuriken,
saying. It's
shuriken. That's how you're saying.
Yeah, I'm totally doing that. That's totally what I'm doing.
I mean, I'm sure
I didn't
there's
even know it.
if there's ever fan art of a sound, it's that.
Well, to be fair, there is a move called the Shoryuken.
Oh,
which
right.
is really
yes.
close to
yes, you're
shuriken.
right. The basic is already there. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about. Totally.
Yeah,
thinking
yeah,
about.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Jonas Schlotterbeck, made up probably.
I love that name. The fifth Jonas brother.
Hi, yes, I'm Jonas Schlotterbeck. I'll be taking your
Schlotterbeck
daughter
Jonas.
out tonight. So
I don't feel good about this because it really could be somebody's real
I
name.
think it's their name.
probably
I respect
their
it. I respect it.
Yeah.
Here's, you dunk on it, then you say, but I respect it. I respect it. My uncle was a
It's a good last
Schlotterbeck. So Mr. Schlotterbeck, they say, hey, MinnMax crew, do any of your parents also play games?
I wish.
I wish.
My
They
dad
view
definitely
them
has.
as awful
Okay.
things.
I want to hear more about that for sure. I remember as a kid seeing like what games my dad had on CD on his little rack in his office.
Yeah.
Like
Cool.
Doom and I believe Duke Nukem 3D, things of that nature. He got really into Burnout Revenge, but he hasn't played games in a long time. I tried for a long time to lend him my PS4 to play Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
I was like, I think this could be something for you. And because he expressed a lot of interest in it, but he kept putting it off. And eventually he said he didn't want an ass and wine. He was like, it's like such a big thing. And I am so busy already.
Right.
Was what he was thinking about. He's like, he knows he can get really into games and it's like simpler for his life to not get into them.
Yeah.
That's
fair
wise.
enough.
Did you ever see the greatest moment in recorded history where there's like one of those actor roundtables a couple years ago? And one of the actors was like in a video game movie or something. And he's talking about like, oh, I got so addicted to games, blah, 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 blah. And one of the actors at the roundtable is Jeff Bridges. And he's like, I got really sucked into a game once. And they go, oh yeah, what? And he goes, Tron. And it brought the house down. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, that's good shit.
Yeah.
Stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, thank God. Hey, Leo, speaking of your parents, lovely
Let's
time
speak
at the
of
wedding. Lovely time. Although I'm losing sleep over this moment with your mom. And not the one you're thinking of where she was running down
He
all
said,
the...
I'm losing sleep over this moment with your mom.
Yeah, what the hell, dude?
Yeah. And not the
Interesting
moment...
burn. Let's see where it goes.
Yeah. Where at Leo's wedding, in the middle of the dance floor, there was like a pagan tree. And so the big joke for Sarah and Haley and I was like, oh, we got to like dance with this tree. It'd be fun if we started a big circle
It's
around
really
this tree. Yeah.
Why are you making fun of his tree at the wedding?
No, it was just
It
like
was
at the
giving
venue.
Midsummer like dance around the tree.
It was fun though. It was
Okay.
fun. Every
Yeah.
dance floor should have a tree in the middle of it for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And
And
so-
it wasn't.
it
We
was
didn't
cool.
bring it. It was part of the venue. So I
Okay.
don't take it
Yeah,
personally.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought that was like a relative of yours. But so I
Family
was like
tree.
dancing next to the tree, and I think because I'm really funny to be clear, I think like your mom was there, and I was like pretending to dance with the tree, and your mom was there, and your mom was like, "Oh, is this your tree friend?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she goes, "What's his name?" I was like, "Oh God, real like comedy test to have Leo Vader's lovely mom be like,
That's
come
why
up."
Leo's so funny. Is
I
because
know.
she was chucking things like that to Leo
And you
when
know-
he was a baby.
I know.
Right. And you know what I would say?
What's that?
Spruce Bingstein.
Wow, that's good.
That's really good. What'd you say, Ben?
What'd you say?
Well, if you don't count the humana, thinking, I came up with, I said Stigley. and she gave me like okay, could have done better, and then just kind of danced away. And I'm like, is Stigley good? I think it's okay. But
Stigley is actually great. I think maybe if the pause was too long.
yeah, it wasn't great, but you know.
That sounds
whatever.
about
Stigley's
right.
great.
Where it's like I don't know what would have made her happy. You know, I
Right,
don't know
right.
what she served something to you, and I don't know what she was expecting in return.
It's tough. Yeah.
Yeah. Shouts out my mom.
Shouts out to your mom. And then she was reciting different Prince albums, and they got vulgar. Peter Gallagher at some point. Peter Gallagher
Wait,
wrote.
can we talk about how Haley's parents think games are evil?
Oh yeah.
Oh, they hate them. It's crazy. I've like created a whole career for myself around them, and they're still like, "You still doing that? You still play those?" I was at their cottage. My sister was on her phone, as she does. No one's judging. I have my Steam Deck, playing on my Steam Deck in the chair outside, enjoying the nature. No one. It's a down hour. You know when everyone does things for a bit. We're outside. We're in the
chilling.
water,
Yeah.
and then everyone kind of sits down for a bit. So I was like, "I'll get my Steam Deck, play some games." Mom comes out, sees Emma on her phone, looks at me. I really wish you wouldn't be playing games while we're all together at the cottage.
Oh my god.
I'm like, she's on her
Wow.
phone. She's right. What am I gonna talk to her about? She's looking at her phone. She's like, well, she's just on her phone. There's no like,
I
it's
hate it.
viewed as this whole other
Yeah.
bigger thing. And I'm like, it's just a thing I'm doing for 10 minutes. It's fine.
That's so
Yeah.
interesting. I consider
I
playing a game
know.
so much more closer to being present than being on your
Yes,
phone.
that's what I
Yeah.
said. I'm like, my neurons are rubbing together and I'm thinking thoughts while I do this, as opposed to love my sister, but she's just on TikTok numbly consuming videos. She's not even processing it.
And you know,
What's the difference?
yeah, I hope your mom gets lost in the woods. But also, like, I think about sports get such a pass. Of like my brother-in-law will he'll just go
Yes.
sit in the
Yeah.
other room and watch a football game by himself. Like if I went to the other room and booted up Perfect Dark Zero, I'm the weirdo. You
Yeah.
know? It's like I don't
No, I
get
remember
that.
when
wrong.
I broke up with my high school boyfriend who I dated for years and years. I was so sad, and it was one of the I was playing, what's the the Uncharted side game with
Golden
like
Abyss?
that's not-
Legacy.
yeah, I was playing that in the living room,
Oh.
and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Just play this game." She goes, "I'll watch you play," and I was like, "That means the world." Like that was so not how her and I interact.
Yeah.
And she sat for like an hour and asked me questions. And I
Whoa.
was like, I feel awesome. It was like the best thing. And she's like never done it since. I'm like, damn it. She just is so disinterested in games, which fair enough. She's like gardening and like being outside and probably having a way better mental health than me.
That's a
But
cool gesture, though. I love that.
Yeah,
I
that's very
loved
sweet.
it. It was so.
Yeah.
I think about it all the time too. I should tell her that. I think about that all
Write
the
her
time.
a letter about it.
Yeah.
DubZE27. Love it. I'm sorry. The full name is DubZE27 Schlotterbeck. They say, hey all, it's a fellow boss baby here. Parentheses, what Kyle Bosman calls his fans. You insist on
That's
calling...
not true. I don't even call people who watch me fans. I don't like the word.
Boss maniacs.
So they say
Stupid chat is generally like
He kind of
what I
liked
would
that
call
one,
them
Leo.
affectionately.
He did, yeah.
Smile.
Anyways, fellow boss baby here to say MinnMax has had an incredible year so far, and this month with Kyle has been no different. Thank you all for all that you do, and thank you to Janet for inspiring me to take a swim class. They wrote it.
Oh, that's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, we brought back Better Quest in a kind of a little vlog format, and Janet was showing off learning to swim, which is like, talk about vulnerable. Like, that's just amazing that she did that and was up for recording video of it, and then watching the internet watch her learn how to swim. Is like, that's amazing. She's a hero.
Awesome.
Limp Bizquick writes in
Good
and
name.
says, asterisk, holding Kyle like an undomesticated rodent. Can we keep him?
So I'm a rat in this case.
Yeah, you're a stinky rat. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we can't keep Kyle. He's too expensive. Just like rats. You can't hang on to him. They're way too much. Yeah. But that is it for community questions. And that is it. Kyle Bosman, you've answered
That one
all of your
made
community
the
questions. Well,
That
Bosman,
was the version of Can Kyle come on full time?
yeah, there were so many questions that were like, Bosman,
Oh.
reflect on your time as a guest cohort, and he didn't vote for any of them. So like, this seems like a nice soft
Yeah,
one.
that's the truth. Any question that starts like to me, I'm not gonna click a thumb up on for sure.
Interesting. Usually that's Ben trying to say, do you want to talk about this for a second instead of like answering. That's how I always kind of read it.
No.
I'm not a kind of guy who likes to steal the spotlight, you know?
Okay.
Or accept it when it's been handed to you.
Yeah.
Or even that, yeah.
It's
Oh,
not even a
so
steal.
whatever.
It's an acceptance.
Yeah. No, but Bosman, thank you for being a guest cohort, man. It has been a thrill to have you here the last month.
Oh, this has been really, really nice. All of the other cohorts have been really supportive, but
Yeah.
like the community has been really nice. It's been a fun month.
Sweet. Genuinely, what I want to know more than
privilege
anything on earth. Oh, please.
For Donkey Kong Bonanza month.
I
Of
know.
all the months
Yeah,
around
it's
you.
been
Yeah.
perfect month.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. But is it stressful to work back with a group? I mean, you're at Easy Allies for years, and you're like, I'm gonna go do my own thing. Is there a part of you where it's like, oh, that's right. It's nice to be amongst a group. Are there any feelings that way?
No.
Okay.
I would say MinnMax is a very non-stressful group to work with.
But also
That's
we're very
nice.
minimal. We're very, I don't know, like we're not all full time. You know, this is the thing. If we were all in an office, we'd all, I think, be stressed out and hate each other. But hopefully, we found the right balance of only calling each other when we need to, so we don't drive another insane. By the way, it sounds like we're casting shit on Easy Allies, which is not. It's not my intention at all. Yeah, but I'm glad it hasn't been stressful for you, because it is like a tough thing to try and dial in and try and predict like how many hours will you be jumping on stuff as a guest cohort. You know, it's like it's tricky to try and map out.
What I've been thinking about this month is this quote from Sakurai in one of his videos where he says, "You will not succeed without constant output." So like anytime I'm like slightly exhausted, I'm like, Sakurai would not be exhausted. He would just keep pushing through, you know?
Yeah.
So it's been fun to like do this many videos in 1 month actually.
Oh, that's interesting. But also, he doesn't drink water and he only drinks Diet Coke. So I don't know if we can listen to Sakurai for like all life advice.
He's got his
Kinda
stuff
man.
together. I don't know. I'm all on board.
Yeah, he's got it. I mean, this doesn't need to be an exit interview, but it kind of is. Was it the whole guest cohort thing different than how you expected? Surprises along the way? Inside, outside, Monday meetings, content, all that fun stuff? Was it like, oh, I was kind of expecting to be like this, and it was not like that?
Okay. I mean, this is spoiling what I was gonna do at the end of the podcast.
Sure.
Like it's weird to do this before even like hearing from the rumor Meister,
Oh,
but
crap,
I'm down.
The Meister. Yeah.
Okay, so generally, like, I want to say that, like, yeah, your MinnMax's cast, the full like cohorts, I think is like such a strength, and like I feel like honestly, just like straight out, like the gender breakdown is really strong. It's like fighting game ratio, where like it really like adds to the kind of conversations this outlet is particularly like capable of having, which I think is really strong. But what I did want to say, like, I hope that like everybody who like watches this stuff like truly appreciates like Ben Hansen and like what he's doing here. So like I know how hard it is to like host and like produce a podcast for sure, and also like being like entertaining but also like funny but also like respectful but also keeping in mind like how long you had to do, like all that, right? On top of all that, like just like your managerial style is what I was like really impressed by this month. The idea that you're like the boss of everyone, you're like the boss of this Patreon, but also like super understanding and communicative, and like yeah, I've been really impressed with Ben Hansen all month, to be honest with you.
That's very sweet. That's too
you
nice
are the
of
twerp. Just to be clear,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
he
yeah.
is the twerp.
Yes.
But like on
But
top of the twerp, like a really good boss, you know?
He can fall into the twerp role because he cares about us all so much.
I think so,
That's
yeah.
exactly
Yeah,
it.
I'm fans of it. Oh, that's nice. That's nice to hear. Yeah, it's it's something that I definitely had to think about. Like, I always catch myself in those moments where I was like, I'm not this nice of a person, but a nice person would double check if this person is okay with this. You know, it's like, I always have to like do that little math.
You gotta play the role, yeah.
Yes, if I was a very nice person, I'd be like, hey, I want to double check before we go live with this. Are you cool with this thumbnail? Like that type of just kind of like little thing. Remind myself to be a person, I think, is kind of the refrain over the last couple of years.
That's the only thing that makes you a nice person, man.
Hey, thanks, man.
You know, that's the only thing that makes any of us a nice person. I've got to force it. I've got to put reminders in my to-do list app to reach out to friends who I obviously should reach out to.
Right.
You just need to be considerate out of what you want yourself to be.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I guess Bosman gets question of the week with that type of compliment. Yeah. What do y'all like for question of the week? There's the missing the office environment, the studio stuff, pitching a live service, running to save time.
I liked the studio question, and I liked the question straight to Haley about what's going on with Sony and Tencent there.
Yeah.
Because that was like a deeply informative answer, right?
It's true.
So those would be my top two.
Okay, Leo Haley.
I like the studio answer because I realize I've never been in a game studio.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
That's great.
They got to
I
send
never
you
thought
out to
about
one.
that.
Yeah. All right.
Totally, that'll happen.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You like that one, Leo?
Yeah, great.
Okay, of course, Angelinal is taking it for question of the week. You get the prize from my 8-bit. Enjoy the Battletoads vinyl. Now it's time for something that we don't call Rumor Master, something that we call Get a Load of This.
I have my best get a load of this ever.
Please.
Oh my god. Well,
Whoa,
then you shouldn't
best
go
ever.
first. Then you shouldn't go first.
Oh, you
That's
should.
not fair.
We should make you go last. It has to be
Yeah.
better than even the community one.
Yeah.
Great.
Even
Yeah.
That's a good point. Even the community one. Mine's
Okay.
just okay. Can I go first?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Get a load of this. I was on YouTube and for some reason this video got pushed to me. It's from an account called Steve Marsh. It's a guy that just travels around and like records nice vlogs about where he's been. But the video that got pushed was my own city. And it's like only an hour-long video, but I watched the whole thing of him just like really appreciating my city, like walking around, like,
What's your
I'd
city?
move here, Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Gotcha.
He's like, I'd move here in a heartbeat. He goes, look at it's beautiful over here. He's like walking down like a street where I grew up. He's like, gorgeous street, and he's just like loving everything about it. And it made me view the city in like a whole new lens. That I was just like, this is so lovely. He's also from Scotland. And Nova Scotia is very like Scotland coded. Nova Scotia means New Scotland, and it's like
What?
he kept seeing tartan everywhere, and he was just like, "Yo, yeah!" Like he's like getting really jacked up about how much Scottish stuff is here. I was like, I guess that is unique. That's pretty fun.
Oh, fun.
But I've never like viewed my city that way, like a tourist. I guess it was very fun, just like watching him walk across all of Halifax and Dartmouth, and like seeing what he stops to go look at this. I'm like, that is nice. Like he walked through Public Gardens, which is a place I've been to 8,000 times. And he stopped at the gates and went, look at the detail on the gate. I'm like, hey, I have never looked at that. That's really cool. Look,
Yeah,
it was
that's
just
cool.
very
That's
nice
fun.
and
That's nice.
heartwarming. And then I have another really mini one.
What?
But there's an anime coming out that is set in Halifax. That has episodes set in Halifax. It's an Anne of Green Gables anime that's airing
Whoa.
currently right now.
Is it called
And
the
it has,
Anime
like-
of Green Gables?
It's called The background artist apparently used Halifax backgrounds for reference. Kingsport is what it's called.
Cool.
think.
Way to go, Halifax, killing it. Get a load of this, everybody. I was just in LA for the Battlefield event, and ran into JV Gwaltney. He was talking about the hotel. And he's like, by the way, if I got you killed, I apologize because there might be a giant tsunami coming. I was like, oh yeah, there was that earthquake in Russia, and so all of California was on a tsunami watch.
Are PR people this cavalier?
Well, I worked with JV for many years, so you know.
Okay.
But it was just this surreal thing of like, all right, the tsunami waves are gonna hit where I'm at 1 a.m. And I was like, ground floor, and literally at this hotel, it was like the marina was right outside my door.
Oh no.
And so it was the weirdest feeling. I was like, all right, I guess I just go to sleep. Like, I don't, they would tell us to evacuate. It's just a weird thing. And then it turns out it was just a couple small waves for Southern California and stuff. But reading about tsunamis, so it's not like one tidal wave like all good media would have you believe. It's just like pulsing.
The wall.
Yeah, it's just like underwater kind of pulses, right? That have multiple waves and stuff. But guess how fast they move underwater, tsunamis. Take a guess,
gosh.
hot shots.
200 kilometers an hour.
I don't know what that is. Does anybody have a human answer?
100 knots.
Well, very rude.
Yeah, knots is universal, baby.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell me any number, and it's gonna sound kind of big. You know what I mean? You have
Okay,
to give
alright,
it like relation. You have to be like, it's faster than 3 horses. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Tied
faster
together.
than a NASCAR.
Okay. Well, is this fast enough for you, old man? 500 miles per hour is how
my
fast
God.
tsunamis move underwater. I cannot
That's
even.
faster than any race car.
How is that possible? Imagine just a wall of water moving under the water at 500 miles per hour. It's just like the energy. Like, I cannot fathom what that is physically.
And I'm sorry, were you like looking this up on your phone while you're in bed?
I
trying to
couldn't sleep. There's a tsunami coming.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Did part of you want to like haven't they done social experiments that like humans won't panic if they don't see anyone else panicking around them, even if someone's like, you're gonna die in
Right,
5 minutes, confirmed
right.
100%.
Yeah.
If like no one around them is like you just like sit there and like wait for it to happen. Is that kind of what it felt like?
Well, that's
A
so
little bit,
dark.
but I was still extremely safe, and it all was fine, and I'm very thankful for it. But it was like, you know, there was like a family at the hotel desk, and they're like, "Do we evacuate? What's going on?" And the hotel desk is like, we don't really. It doesn't really happen that often. We don't really know. And then the worst part was in the morning.
That would make me want to fly out. That would make me want to leave.
In the morning, I was like eating breakfast outside, and it was like 7 a.m, and so it was like really quiet, and the staff of the of the restaurant was looking in the marina, and they're all like, "We've never seen the current move like that. We've never seen the current move." Or it was like,
no.
"Wait, does that mean like the water's getting sucked out and it's giant waves coming in?" Like it was a fun little bit of tension.
Would you have been fine with dying for the Battlefield 6?
For the
Yeah,
conversation
way
we
to
got to have on this
go.
podcast about it, 100%. And
Talk about a rocky launch. All the press that went to go see
Yeah.
their game dies in a tsunami.
and I
They ain't
want
coming back from that.
like full taps at my funeral, but they just play. I feel like it would be nice. Anyways,
I'm,
While
uh,
they're putting
I'm
you in the
thinking-
ground.
yeah.
Like, and we would have to like, it would be up on us. Like, this is way too dark, but if
Please.
that much of like games press was drowned all at once, we would have to write a song about it.
Oh, like
You know, like the hole in games media that would create if like
Yeah.
the Battlefield 6
Oh,
stadium
like
drowned.
kind of like the day games media died.
Right.
oh, I thought it'd be like we
Yeah.
didn't start the fire.
No.
Oh, okay. Where it's like Paris Lily, Danny Pena. Okay, never mind. It'd probably be better if it was somber.
We got way too dark. I'm
Yeah,
sorry about that.
All right,
No, that was great.
Bosman, take it away. You got one?
Get a load of this. There's a really fun video on the MinnMax YouTube channel in which it's called the MinnMax Mystery Art Festival. I was going out on a limb pitching this at the beginning of the month, not really knowing if people would be down to clown. The idea was like a secret Santa for creating art for each other. Everybody could submit one character and they would receive one video game character to have to create an art piece of. And the results are crazy. And the amount of effort and variety and creativity. So yeah, I feel like that's a really good example of like MinnMax going wild and like being up to doing crazy stuff. And so I appreciated that.
Yeah.
It's a good video.
Yeah. And also, it's so
That
sweet
was so
to see
fun.
all the comments that are like, everybody's an artistic savant. I'm like, well, I think a couple of us are, but the rest of us did a solid job.
I was
know, but, like,
blown away by Jeff.
Jeffem-
Jeffem could work in manga tomorrow.
Yeah. It's like I
Like,
feel like I'm
he was
putting
so
everybody else
good.
down by talking about Jeff in particular, but that was the one that really blew me away. It was crazy.
Yeah.
The idea that he was really self-conscious about that, and nervous about how it was
Yeah.
gonna turn out.
It was
It's
like,
like
the
a
best
30-second preamble.
Yeah.
So annoying, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So the community had this get a load of this. Anemo Test 6308 posted this link to a YouTube video from one Ben Jordan, and it's the best name you can have for a YouTube video. It's called "I Saved a PNG Image to a Bird." And the idea is he had like this bird that's the best ever at recreating sounds, and so trying to see if you can store data in this bird
Oh,
by
cool.
having a specific sound that the bird will
Like
then
how hard
repeat.
2D2 talks.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So there's a YouTube video in the description if you want to check that out and see the adventures of. It's just funny because in it he's like, to my knowledge, this is the first time an animal has been used as a storage device. It's like, yeah, I guess so. It's a weird
Since the
concept.
time of the pack mule.
That's right. Leo, you got one?
Yeah, get a load of this.
The best one.
The best one.
Your
Let's
boy
hear
got
it.
married.
Oh,
That's not really it. But McGreevy in the
Oh.
chat reminded me I hadn't mentioned my wife yet, so I want to keep the streak going.
Talk about a
That
partner
I'm married to
showcase.
piece of content. Yeah, exactly.
Hell.
This get a load of this. I did discover myself. IGN and Game Informer, their YouTube channels, if you sort all their videos by popular, the second most viewed video is the same Plants vs. Zombies 2 trailer.
What? I knew that about Game Informer as a weird anomaly, but also IGN's the same?
Game Informer with 5.6 million views, IGN with 89 million views. Both the
89.
second most.
Oof.
What's number one for both these channels?
Oh, here we go.
Thanks for asking.
Here we go.
Number one on IGN is the first 10 minutes of The Amazing Spider-Man 2. You can see why that got some attention.
Wait, the game or the
The
film?
movie?
The movie.
Wow. What the?
That's so cool. All right.
And on Game Informer, it looks like it's this little video called "Looking Back at Rainbow Six Siege's Bizarre Reveal Trailer" by some guy named Leo Vader.
Some of Leo's best
Oh,
work.
I've watched that. Yeah, that's a good
Oh,
video.
wow.
Oh,
That's
thank
nice.
you. It's at 5.6 million views also, so Plants vs. Zombies 2 trailer could take it over at any moment.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
No. Wait, it might now that the Replanted is coming out. People might start
Yeah,
looking at
they're
it.
Oh,
Research
no, I'm
for that.
sorry.
Oh,
Leo,
no.
no.
Siege X! But Siege X is out too!
Sorry.
Not good enough.
Totally useless info, but isn't that so strange?
That is strange.
I got a rude
That's
question.
strange.
Yes, sir.
When you're at Game Informer and you like create an absolute monster hit video like that, does anything change for you, or does your job stay the absolute same?
You have to ask
You
Leo.
must get a little raise or something.
What, are you high?
Bonus. a little payment bonus.
GameStop's
No.
going to come down? Yeah. I mean,
And to be fair, I've thought about it, and it's like, I could have absolutely gone, look at this, we should do more stuff like this that is timeless and
Yeah.
just personality-based. I could have, for sure, pushed that more, and I didn't.
Sure.
But it's like,
Alright.
yeah, it did not change the day-to-day.
no.
Makes
I
sense.
You
think-
get a couple edible, like the day you came into the office after it blew up. You must have been like, everyone's like, Leo, giving you finger guns. It must have felt good.
Ben was.
Just
Yeah,
bad.
I bet that's probably a situation where
I
it's like in our 10:30 meeting is probably like a, hey, that video's blowing up. Way to go, Leo. Like there might have been like
Yeah.
a, hey, group
That's
thing.
it.
You know?
For sure, nobody was mean about it or ignoring it, but it just, I
No.
don't think it was a
You
big
should
deal.
have had like a cupcake on your desk or something. If
Yeah,
I
I
was the,
agree.
Yeah.
if I ran that company, there would have been something fun there.
Yeah, essentially. But at least
Well, thanks, guys.
all the money from that YouTube channel went directly back into the video department and really expanded it in a huge way. Instead, it's probably just sent to the publisher Rob's fund.
I got a MinnMax idea.
Yeah.
If any video is over like 100K, you should send them a cupcake.
Whoever made it.
Yeah.
What about like my
On all
interview
of
with
YouTube?
Brian David Gilbert that did well? Do I
So-
send Brian David Gilbert a cupcake?
No, that's your cupcake.
So I just get to eat a cupcake?
You made the video.
Okay.
It's the creator, not the subject.
So creator, but what about the people in it? You know, what if like the video, you know,
Everyone in the video who's featured, who's a cohort, gets a cupcake.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That feels fair.
I think that's fair. Yeah. Let's
Okay.
do it.
Deal.
Honestly, I'm not for want. I'm not a wanty kind of guy. But seeing Kit and Krista over there on their wonderful YouTube channel hit 100K for the subs, I've never wanted anything more in my life than to have MinnMax at 100K on YouTube.
Well, we went up by 100, like, because I posted in our Discord when we hit 666 with a little like
Oh yeah.
Elmo and the fire emoji, and then I checked like the next day and it was at 7.
I
was
think
like,
this.
hey,
I think the skill up video. I
Nice.
think we got some subs for that interview and stuff like that.
Nice.
But yeah, I feel like at this rate, I don't know how to push it. I'm trying to think. I think I'm gonna put it in like the Wall of Heroes. Like their best bet is like involves you, Kyle Bosman. No, it's the Game Awards. Like those things that get outside of our orbit. Like just in that, just trying to push the idea of like, give us a sub now, please, now or never. Or better yet, oh my God, you guys, Bosman from the stage. Just be like, hey, everybody, I just want to shout out before I reveal the new Deadpool VR game. Just subscribe to MinnMax real quick, please.
You want me to go off script?
Could it hurt?
Yeah, I couldn't. No.
Okay.
That'd be easy.
They're just words. It's just air.
So. Yeah,
You
yeah,
can
yeah.
say
And so
whatever,
like
yeah.
here's like Kit and Krista, right? Like they're
Yeah.
like two like really good like hosts, right? They
Yeah.
got great personalities, but I feel like them being former Nintendo adds so much legitimacy to what their like the proposition is, you know what I mean? It makes it that's an easy sub.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
clear messaging for sure. Yep,
Yeah.
you know what you're
And
getting.
I've always said, it's two people. You can learn who two people are in one video. The more people you have,
Yeah.
the harder it is to say you subscribe so you get more of this particular set of two people you happen to like.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a different proposition.
And shout out to Kit and Krista, by the way. They have so many videos where it's like, I watch it and listen to the podcast and be like, no one else could do this. No one else could do this. Like they had one recently where they just talked about the producer of Donkey Kong Bananza. And like, hey, here's what it's like to work with this guy. We worked with him on Mario Odyssey, and like here are all these details that you would have no idea that we would kill for a sliver of that to come out in some Nintendo Ask at some point. And they're just like sharing all this stuff with him. Like the fact that he co-directed 3D World with another guy, and they're like, that other guy has been working on something since, and we don't know what. It's like, oh, I just assumed that he would have gone on to Odyssey, but apparently 3D World's co-director is still cooking up something secret. Like that level of inside stuff is so fun.
That is fun.
Anyways, it's great.
I said Insomniac might have had a cereal bar if I remember correctly. That's pretty good insider stuff.
That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
good.
yeah.
That was nice.
that was pretty crazy.
Yeah. Ooh, is it as crazy as the Rumor Meister?
Oh my God, is this time?
I think it's time.
I
The
can't
number
wait.
one thing I'm gonna miss about not being on the podcast every week is missing out on the Rumor Meister drops.
I think.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. They seem pretty climactic in the final message, but here's
What do you mean by
presumably.
that?
Well, it was framed as they sent it and it says my final message.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What's going on with him? Is he sick?
I don't know.
Rumor Meister here, and really, you guys, I listened to the last episode, and Reggie Fils-Aimé, you think I'm Big Reg? I'm flattered, but also insulted. Reggie is so out of the game now, and no way he could be as tapped into the game rumor mainframe as me.
Yeah.
Right, bigger,
Mainframe.
more influence, top of the chain, top dog Switch 2, not top dog Wii U. Anyways, on to the rumors. This will come as no surprise to series fans, but the Rumor Meister has learned a shocking new twist about Borderlands 4. My
Ooh.
sources tell me that 80% of the campaign playthrough is Claptrap. Hold on, are you familiar with Claptrap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That question's for Ben Hansen specifically.
Yeah. I know him.
Okay? All right. Okay, so 80% of the campaign is watching Claptrap slowly eat noodles, like
No.
long spaghetti noodles.
No.
What the hell?
My sources insist it's really boring and not funny, but it's still better than Borderlands 3.
Oh! Meister.
Sheesh.
Apparently, Kojima is pissed that Norman Reedus' likeness is in the new Dead by Daylight update.
Oh no.
An insider tells me that Nicolas Cage apparently has bought a whole new yacht thanks to DVD money. So Norman was too tempted not to hop on the old hook himself for a few extra simoleons.
No.
In a fit of jealousy, Kojima plans to hack into behavior systems and remove the shoes from all the female killers in the game.
Oh my
I
god.
don't
that
really
only
know why
helps
that
sales. What is he
specifically is
thinking?
his angle, but slay Kojima, get him.
Wow.
Oh.
All right, finally, get this. Thinktown from the new Pokemon Friends puzzle game
Yeah, of course.
is going to be added as a location to Pokemon Legends ZA.
That can't be true.
The starters are all based on Age of Reason philosophers like Platogon and Aristotodile,
No.
and the gym leaders are just
Wow.
professors with tenure with no Pokemon. So good luck beating them.
Oh.
Well, all good scoops must make it on the proverbial cone eventually, so I regret to inform you this will be the last message you received from the Rumor Meister.
No.
No, I'm
why?
not leaving because the rumor mill has run dry. It's wetter than ever, but, well, to tell you the truth, I think my girl's on the inside. Only in it for the big juicy rumors, if you know what I mean.
Oh my
And I
God.
can't risk the empire I've built for some tail. Even if she gives Rumormeister the old butterflies. So,
Oh my god.
until I can confirm she is not Mr. and Mrs. Smithing me, I gotta lay low.
What?
Don't miss me too much. And until next time, trust the shadows, deny the light. The Rumormeister takes flight. Except I'm leaving, but I already told you that.
Wow.
Rumormeister.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
Rumormeister will be
He's
missed.
getting Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
This is what I'm learning. Bon voyage,
I hope not.
Rumormeister. All right.
I hope not.
hope-
Officially, canonically getting some tail though is wild.
Yeah, that is good. That's
exciting.
really cool. That's really
Excited
cool.
for him to get some tail. I bet it's a lonely world for Rumormeister, so it's good that he's some company.
Yeah. MinnMax stuff. We mentioned Better Quest is back as a vlog, everybody.
It just
New
switched to
format. See you in hell, Rumormeister! MinnMax Mystery Art Festival. It's on MinnMax's YouTube channel. Bonus pod this week. It is, talking about the lawsuit with Sony and Tencent, but then also Leo recapping his wedding, which is very fun to hear. Once in a lifetime content there, so you can support us at the $5 tier to unlock bonus pod each and every week, hosted by Haley. It is quite good, quite good. Also, it's like 40 minutes of you all talking about Death Stranding 2, which is super fun.
Yeah, that was a great combo.
That is all I'm playing and all I want to talk about.
Interesting.
Besides my marriage, honey.
Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, unlock that show and support it. There we go. Also, new show plus this week. We referenced it a couple times, but Hot Take Time Machine. Janet and Jeffem and Leo and Kyle Bosman sharing some hot takes. We'll unearth in a year and see how they've aged, of course.
Who's the sommelier? Who's the milkmaid?
And it's cool that we say milkmaid. Also, Wall of Heroes. Remember, if you want to jump in there, the $50 tier. Put any promotional image you want. Picture of your passion project is probably the better way to put it, or just your pet, your face, your favorite game, favorite character. A silly picture of Kyle Bosman. We'll take anything. Jump in at that $50 tier just for 1 month, even if you want to try it out, and put an image on the rotating slideshow. And then we have a travelogue dropping next week. It's a short little mini travelogue. To call the travelogue is probably misleading, but a little bonus video featuring Kyle Bosman and a special guest you might know well. But if you've enjoyed everything we've done here at MinnMax, period, and lately enjoyed the guest cohort format, all that fun stuff, you can support us again before August 4th on Patreon, even that $2 tier. We'd love to have you jump in, and we'll DM you a Steam code for Lumines Remastered. Thanks to Enhanced Games. You can wish list Lumines Arise is what they'd love you to do. And yeah, that'd be nice, because it's very nice of them to send over a bunch of codes for Lumines Remastered on Steam. It plays great on Steam Deck. Play a cool puzzle game and get ready for Lumines Arise. All
I
right.
got a quick question for you.
Of course.
You know, like a Marvel movie can't end without teasing the next one. Do you have
Yeah.
an idea of more guest cohorts you would like in the future?
What a wonderful question. I have a list, and I've checked it a
Oh,
couple
wow.
times. Yeah. Because yeah, it's a question of like, what's the right criteria for a guest cohort, and like, Kyle, cover your ears. Typically, it's like it's kind of fun to like go outside of our normal zone, to go for like, oh, Kyle Bosman, like, he probably wouldn't want to join MinnMax period, but like we could get him for like a month, or like an Alana Pierce. It's just a month. We could try it for a month. Okay, come back. Yeah, come back now. Come back.
All good things. All good things.
So it's like us scrambling to reach stars of the gaming sphere, like Kyle Bosman. But the question is like, oh, should we also maybe lift some other folks up with future guest cohort roles? I think there's another option there that might be kind of fun. So I have a list of folks that'd be kind of fun, but people can send in suggestions. Like the first person we wanted, without revealing who they were, it was a developer. And it was like a while ago that I was like, oh, it'd be so fun to have this fun developer on for a month. It'd be really insightful. And so I think that'd be fun too, is to have like a developer
be
on
really
at some
cool.
point.
So I really am always the third choice.
I guess in this case, yeah, you were the third choice, but we eventually got to you. Like,
you were the first like paternity replacement guest cohort before it was
Right.
called guest cohort.
that's
True
right.
enough,
Yeah,
true
that's
enough.
worth something, right?
Yeah.
There are billions of people who aren't even on the list.
Yeah, just think
True
of
enough.
that, man.
Yeah, it's an honor.
Yeah, this list exists. Hell, Kyle Bosman, thank you.
Yeah, and I don't want it to be another full year until I'm on some MinnMax stuff or
Okay.
MinnMax stuff on my stuff. You know
All
what I mean? We gotta keep it collabing.
We'll be in touch. Winky,
Yeah.
winky.
Yeah.
Delayed input. Star of the show. It's such a fun YouTube series.
I gotta make an episode right now.
We're gonna wrap this up so you can do it. Are you still feeling good about it? You feel like that's gonna go on forever? Please?
Nothing goes on forever, no. But
Okay.
I feel it's super fun. Every week it's still a fun challenge, and that's what I appreciate about it.
Yeah, love it. Love it for sure.
Great
Check it
show,
out on
big
YouTube
fan.
and twitch.tv/Kyle Bosman.
That's correct, yeah.
Awesome. Anything else you want to throw out there?
No, just really appreciative. Really, really appreciative. So I've been appreciative to you and the cohorts, but just again to the audience, I've been reading the comments. You've been sweeties all month, so it's truly appreciated.
Awesome. Cool.
Nice.
Greatly appreciate it. And we'll be back next week for a fun special episode of the MinnMax show. We might be in the same space together. We'll see. All right. Be good. Have fun. Let's go.